He's going to jump and say, look, see, I said Chud was going to betray DeOrio. It's not betrayal to criticize someone. If there's a legitimate point.
So, you know, we have the whole Kuihman, the malcontents, the demanding for debates. I will never do the debates. I will never go on there again. I got cornered by Kuihman.
Who have I ever snaked? Or J-Stalk when I pretend he's fat. But, like, other than stupid jokes like that. What is the snaking? What is the snaking? I'm sorry, but they were terrified of DGG, and they were totally lying about it and capping in that stream, and Chud was right to press them about it. Let's go! Let's go! Tommy giving us the win. Let's go. That's huge. Chud ran and he swept because TommyC called him out for texting little boys. So Chud ran because he's scared. He doesn't want to tell his audience he was texting little boys. Okay, so TommyC has released a video called Why I Don't Trust ChudLogic Anymore. Absolute huge development here. Massive development in the TommyC story. As anyone who's been around for a while knows, a while ago, I started joking that we were gonna start a psyop on TommyC. And I just started saying, oh, there's a psyop on TommyC. Everyone's working against him. Everyone's talking about him behind the scenes. Everyone's working against TommyC. We're coming for TommyC. All this shit. And then some people just started trolling him. And then, like, he had to call him with dickers. And, like, everything in his head started, like, the dots all started connecting. And he started actually, like, unironically falling for it. It's just, like, it's one of the most things that's ever happened that for some reason worked. I don't know why it worked. But it's worse than ever in the video we're about to watch. Truly, it's worse than you could ever possibly imagine. So Chud's spoken about this video today. He has responded to it. He didn't actually cover it because he's a coward. However, he has spoken about it, so we're gonna watch his response. But Tommy's video, dude, this is just so funny. I can't believe how crazy this guy's gone, how triggered he is. It's just like a total mind-apening. Totally mind-aped. But further than that, we're gonna get some behind-the-scenes cabal politics, you know? We're going to get some of the behind-the-scenes conversations about how the cabal operates, and some of Tommy's thoughts on how the power is broken, the strength of their grip has loosened, has weakened. It's all very funny. It's just a very funny video. It's just clear that Tommy is, like, very anxious. A lot of people very anxious recently, I think. Don't like getting criticized, don't like getting made fun of. You know, whole career is built off of criticizing and making fun. All of a sudden, it's not quite so fun when it's turned around. Very embarrassing stuff, not gonna lie. But we're gonna get into the video, so let's just switch over and give it a start. Give it a start here. Where am I going? I'll go down here. I'll go down here.
Jealousy never gets you anywhere. If you are getting passed by Nick and other streamers and they pass your relevance level, do what I do. Congratulate them.
So, like, immediately it's all about numbers to Tommy. It's all about numbers to Tommy. And this is the thing. I've already reacted to this video twice. So, this is my third go around. I've got to be real. I did react to it once last night on Kick. I reacted to it on J-Stalks, and I am now watching it for the third time here. Because I do just like this video quite a lot. I just, like, it's really funny. No? It is just really funny. But I'm happy to cover it. I'd cover this if I had, like, another like, group stream that I could join tonight to cover this with, like, a different group of 4 people. I would do that. I would do that. I don't know that I'm going to have that option, but I would, should that opportunity arise. But one thing that I noticed, one thing that I sort of slept on and thought about, is a hidden narrative I think might be occurring here. Chud has just passed 50k. Obviously last year, or maybe even earlier this year, it was quite a big deal for Tommy that after 15 years on YouTube, he finally hit 50k. And he's now talking about how Nick's passing Chud and he's jealous. But Nick was always bigger than Chud. Nick was always bigger than Chud. So Nick's never passed Chud, right? He never passed him. But Chud has just passed Tommy. So it makes me almost wonder, is that on your mind, Tommy? Is that playing on your mind? Thank you for the £3 imagination scene with the pair character putting a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. I hate this boomer ass intro.
Okay, let's start the show. How many of you remember the Keemstar principle? Put them on the chat and somebody tell me what I'm talking about, because I've talked about this pretty much since I was on Bade. What is the Keemstar principle? What does Keemstar say? What have I mentioned? The one thing that Keem taught me that was absolutely true, and the best thing that Keem, and most useful thing. Beef then take fans. That's a simple way to put it. Anybody else?
The Keemstar principle.
Make the opponent look like they were the one that started it. Correct. Correct. I have seen this throughout my YouTube career. I've seen it done to friends, done to people I don't know, over and over again. I also experienced, before I knew Keem, with the people in Joe Cronin's community. People are so desperate for any kind of fame or attention, whether it's a small community or a big community, and it just turns people into monsters. Monsters that I basically pointed out on here for as long as I can remember. My favorite particular group to point out, mostly
so
because,
like, it's just like such inane rambling immediately. So everyone online turns into a monster. They're all monsters and I'm not. That's why they're successful and I'm not. Okay.
I have a different way of looking at things in the internet. There is the way to look at it, that everybody's content, and you really have no true friends because you haven't met them in real life. I don't like that, because I think it's an excuse to be a phony. If I'm good with you, then it's just as good as, I'm going to treat you the same way I would treat anybody in real life. That's my thing.
Wait,
some people don't agree with that. Some people no true friends because you haven't met them in real life. I don't like that, because I think it's an excuse to be a phony. If I'm good with you, then it's just as good.
So he's saying online friends are his real friends. Well, yeah, I imagine that is an easy position to take when you've moved to a country where you don't speak the language to mooch off of your wife and you don't leave the house and you don't have any social life. I imagine it probably is easy for you to take the position that there's no difference between a real life friend and an internet friend, because you don't exactly have a point of reference. However, for most people, when they go online, they're not like, and they meet, so they're not evaluating these people in their thought process about their day-to-day life in the same way they would one of their real friends. And also, most people, I would hope, who do sort of commentary type content or anything similar, would appreciate the fact that while they might have a positive relationship, they are ultimately sort of like colleagues more than anything. Or not even colleagues, but like they are running almost, not necessarily competing, but almost competing businesses, right? That you can be friendly with these people, but ultimately you need to run the business, right? And if you, say, have a brand built on speaking the truth and holding people to account for their misdeeds, like many people around here do, it would be very strange for you to all of a sudden say, well, you know, this person who I've got this sort of business association with, but also have this positive friendship with, I'm going to give them an easy ride. I'm going to give them an easy ride. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to let that story die or whatever, because we've got that rapport. That would be an incredibly weird thing for you to start doing. So the idea, but with a real life friend, of course you wouldn't just start airing out, you know, some shit they did wrong. You might give them a bit of shit, or, you know, lightly criticize them, or bring an issue to them if you thought it was really a big problem. But generally, you're not going to just be like, oh yeah, they're a fucking idiot because blah 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 blah. But you probably should with your commentary friends, because otherwise you're treating them different than you would treat anyone else online. And that doesn't seem very fair. When you're perfectly happy to, you know, ride the wave, talk crazy shit on other people when they're being exposed or whatever. Talk crazy shit on them, drum up your audience, get your audience really mad at them, but then you spare your friends that trouble. You spare your friends that trouble. You're like, no, you're my friend, so I'm not going to treat you in the same way that I would treat any of these other people that I cover. No, that's fucking bullshit. That is total fucking bullshit. That is just cabal mentality. That is saying, I want my I want to keep this place on lock. I want to make sure we got this shit on lock, and that people can't fucking step to our little group. I know, fuck that. That's so embarrassing to treat it that way.
I'm going to treat you the same way I would treat anybody in real life. That's my thing. Some people don't agree with that. Some people think that's too dangerous. But I would never farm anybody friends. You have to at least turn on me or something bad would happen before I did something like that. I'm not wrangling Vault, although it would be easy. Yeah, I go, what? Where'd that come from?
I'm helping you,
just
man.
chokes into the bottle.
I'm fucking helping you over here, man. I'm doing you a favor.
Yes, it's just an example. Just an example. Don't get upset.
All right.
Don't get upset. So this is something I've always lived by. Anybody who's been here for a long period of time, I want you to keep that in mind when I go further, because I smell something. I got a DM from some guy saying that they would be happy to moderate a debate with me and McMahon.
Oh, God.
And why me?
So I've sort of missed all this sort of back and forth between McMahon and TommyC. Obviously, McMahon, somebody did a video hit piece on Nick DeOrio like a few weeks ago. It was kind of poorly argued. Had like a legitimate grievance here or there, but I think it was pretty poorly argued generally. And I guess Tommy responded to it. I haven't seen his reaction. No idea what he said. I assume it was just, how dare you say anything about Nick DeOrio? How dare you say anything about Nick DeOrio for 40 fucking minutes? I imagine it's probably to that effect, if this video is anything to go by. But, yeah, Tommy really not happy with this McMahon individual.
Spiked on his video. I'm not the only one. Why not pop up guts? Got a bigger. Oh, I know why. I know why. And we are seeing this, and I saw this in one of my last videos. Everybody is sick to fucking death of making some kind of outrageous hit piece, calling somebody a bunch of names, and demanding new debate. Jay Sox was doing this with Willie Mack, and it's just everybody's tired of it. Everybody's tired. You're a sweeper. You're a sweeper. You're a sweeper. You're a sweeper. Everybody is just sick to death. So this guy says that, and I just sent him a long lull. And then he writes back exactly like all these guys, like just like I was making fun of McMahon the other day. Oh, I don't think you're very confident in your position if you don't want to debate. Now I'm paraphrasing, of course. McMahon, I am absolutely confident from the bottom of my soul that you're absolutely.
I don't even know like what epithet he used there because it's too censored and like his shit just sucks.
It's not nothing. I got. I don't have to flinch. All right. The video. Absolutely. It's not like, oh God, man, I got that wrong. If you think I got something wrong, feel free to cover it. I'll never claim anybody. Yeah, and I never will. You'd have to be just uploading myself straight up and making money on it for me to even pull some shit like that. And thankfully, I never have. So this debate stuff. First of all, they're not debates. They're gotcha classes, right? I've already experienced them.
The cope is crazy. The cope is crazy.
To be honest with you, some people that I don't like. Who was that guy that screwed over Jesus? Remember him? Remember the Jesus guy? He used to do the. What was that guy?
Oh,
remember him? And then he said that Jesus.
I remember him.
Like that. Yeah, we said him fucking up. otherwise known as retard wrangling. All right. Nobody's retard wrangling me, not knowingly anyway. So I'm just super sick of this demand. Let me make this clear. No debates, anywhere, anytime. Go fuck yourself. Make your fucking video. You have a...
Just announcing that you're a pussy. He just announced that you're like a retarded pussy. That like you can't hold your own in any kind of conversation. You suck at explaining what you think. Like that's all you're saying here. You know you suck. You know you're a fucking retard. And you know you can't keep up if you're being pressed. It's just totally embarrassing. Just totally embarrassing to admit shit like this.
Platform, you have YouTube, it's free.
You're like a commentator who's been doing shows for 15 years and you can't think on your feet. You can't think on your feet and respond to questions about your opinions. Really? Are you that fucking worthless?
You're more than welcome to upload. All right, no debates. It has nothing to do with a position discomfort. I absolutely am completely comfortable with saying,
I'm a content creator, but I actually don't want to create content. I actually don't want to create content. And you know, if Tommy thought he had one over on someone, he would immediately jump on a stream to try and talk to them. Let's imagine, like, just like throw a name out there. Let's imagine Mutahar's on a stream somewhere that Tommy can get on. And Tommy's got a point that he knows he can get on Mutahar. You know he'd jump in there in a second, right? But he's saying, it's all gotcha games, doesn't mean anything. But that would mean something to him, wouldn't it? That would obviously mean something to him. So, because it's not always just gotcha games, is it? A lot of the time there is a totally legitimate point that someone should be confronted with live. And also pressing someone about their opinions live is also very helpful a lot of the time. And I hate this idea that it should be just permitted that you hide away and avoid criticism. I saw Alex Gekmo put up a tweet about everyone like sort of fortress arcing, even though it's a bit of a gay term. It's like the Vosh shit, isn't it? But everyone fortress arcing. It's like, yeah, that is fucking embarrassing. That is totally fucking embarrassing. If you are talking crazy shit on the internet, you should be able to get pressed about the shit you're saying. You should be able to sit there, have someone press you in a hostile fashion, and say, I disagree with that. I think that's fucking stupid, because no, you should be able to fucking take that. You should be able to take that. One, it's good content, and if you're not a total retard, you can easily handle it and deal with it, and you won't, you know, nothing's gonna go wrong. And two, you should hear criticism. You should hear criticism, and also your audience should hear criticism. Like most people, I'm going to be real, especially most commentary YouTubers, are too fucking stupid to even understand their side of the argument, their own side of the argument, let alone able to figure out the opposite side of the argument and present a fair representation of that. So I think it's generally good if you just talk to someone once in a while, you know? Maybe if there is a contentious point, you're like, oh, people have a lot of issues with this. Maybe I'll talk to someone about it. Maybe if someone's willing to, for someone I, you know, don't think is completely crazy, maybe I'll talk to them about it on stream. But no, people don't want to do that because it would mean risking looking silly for 5 minutes in front of their audience. And as you know, content creators absolutely can't stand looking silly for 5 minutes.
That a lot of the things you said in the beginning of your video, like, I criticize people, and I love to criticize people, and I'm going to punch up, and I'm going to take shit from the commentary retards. It just shows total insecurity to me. So what are we going to argue, McMahon? Whether you're secure or not, that's not a position. That's a statement. And
like, did Tommy really not have any position on that McMahon video other than you're insecure? He really didn't take any other issue. If that's the only thing he disagreed with that video on, then, I mean, this would make sense. But I don't think it was.
Allegation, if you would, right? And an opinion. It's binary. There's no way for to know. You could have been totally confident. There's no way for me to know. I'm not lowering myself to debate that. That's stupid. That's what Kuihman does. That's what J-Stock do. And I think they're retarded. I think you guys are just a bunch of...
So, this is the thinking, okay? I'm retarded, J-Stock's retarded, because we're capable of having a live conversation where you're pressed about what you think. And Tommy is not retarded, because he's completely incapable of doing that, and instead chooses to fail to explain his points on a solo show, instead of failing to explain them while being pressed. So somehow this makes sense, guys. Trust me. Somehow this makes sense.
Jesus, what do you call them? I always forget that fucking word for some reason. It's
Goblins.
No, what the fuck is the name? I always get this. This is something that will not stick in my brain.
Contrarian.
Contrarian malcontents. That's
Tommy's playing on hard mode, commentating 10 beers deep. You have to give him respect for that. Look, no matter what you say about Tommy, he does drink a lot. You know, you've got to give him respect for that. He does drink like lots.
Who you are. You say up, they say down. It's just a thing. You know, with the hope to getting it on Chud's stream, right, where he can, best case scenario, call you a sweeper. And I know everybody's like, but what he usually does is, wow, it's a really good video. Don't know if I agree with it, though. Over and over and over and over again. I don't know if you guys know this, but Aiden and Kuihman, back in January, took something I said, I don't remember exactly, but it had something to do with Slasher, and tried to get Chud to call me out. So there's a constant...
So if you don't remember, this is like a ongoing, I don't know, undercurrent with Tommy. Back when the Dr. Disrespect stuff happened, TommyC started spazzing out, and this is what caused us to have a debate, but he was spazzing out in his coverage and saying that the reason Dr. Disrespect was being taken down was a left-wing conspiracy theory. It was a left-wing, not conspiracy theory, left-wing conspiracy against Dr. Disrespect between the Cody guy from Twitch and Slasher and Richard Lewis and all these people and Rolling Stone. It was a left-wing conspiracy because Dr. Disrespect was a right-wing thought leader. And so the left-wingers had to take him out. So they got together and they got him. And they got him. And that was, I obviously took issue with it. I thought that was retarded. And while he was talking about this, one of the things he mentioned was they all collaborated to sweep that stuff up about Slasher where he strong-armed Jessix. I was like, what's all that about? So I went and looked at the Slasher thing. And basically, this woman called Jessix posted DMs that were out of order. Posted the second set of DMs first and the first set second. And basically made it look as though Slasher had pestered this woman with offers of recommending her to some esports organization to make her get him in contact with Brittany Venti to try and get a date. What actually happened was Slasher asked Jessix to get him in contact with Brittany Venti. Then after she had accepted, Slasher was like, oh, thank you so much. I got you. I can do you a favor. And she's like, oh, okay, well, what sort of favor are we talking? And he's like, oh, I can talk to someone at Mayhem for you. I can get you in contact. Some shit like that. And people started claiming that was strong-arming and a quid pro quo when it's blatantly neither, because there was neither an exchange nor pressure applied. He simply asked for the thing, got the thing, and then because they were doing something for him, he was like, listen, I got you. I got you. So it was neither of the things it was being referred to as. But that was a key part of why Tommy was claiming they were all in a conspiracy, because all the left-wingers swept that for Slasher. Jake Lucky and everyone swept that for Slasher, but they didn't. Nothing really bad happened. It just wasn't a fucking big deal. It was just like the most retarded complaint ever. But this little story came up again when Aiden asked me, back when he started streaming first, he asked me, why do you hate Tommy? And I was like, oh, he's just like a water brain boomer, retard, dipshit, you know, all this. And I was like, but if you want an actual complaint, if you want something you can actually sort of dig into and see if there's a good complaint there is this Slasher thing. So I just sort of brought it up as like, you know, if you want to really dig into a TommyC fuck up, this is one. And Aiden did, and he came to a similar conclusion to me. Chud thought it was a little bit overblown. And Chud just said to Tommy, yo, you can come on my stream and talk about this if you want, but I think it's a little bit overblown, so it's not a big deal. And that was basically it. But Tommy is like, this is really stuck in Tommy's head. This is really stuck in his head. He's been like really anxious about this whole Slasher thing.
In real videos for them to push it up to Chud to call me out. And Chud stays on the fence because he's very comfortable with the image that Chud is fair. extremely comfortable with it. And so much that it just, at this point, it just kind of seems to me like he's sort of waiting for his moment to say, I don't know, Dick DeOrio, Kuihman made a really good video on you. Whether it's good or not, it just matters how the audience reacts to it. Now, I don't think that's a very good friend. I don't think that's a very good friend at all.
So, like, can you imagine Chud ever doing that? Just, like, siding with me because I made, because the audience is siding with me? Or can you even imagine the audience siding with, like, what are we even imagining here? What are we imagining here? It feels like Tommy's almost just setting it up, like, he wants to almost prime people that if Chud ever criticizes DeOrio on anything, he's going to jump on it. He's going to jump and say, look, see, I said Chud was going to betray DeOrio. It's not betrayal to criticize someone. If there's a legitimate point, yeah, exactly. It's like poisoning the well. Total priming and poisoning the well. If there's a legitimate point to complain about one of your friends or to say, you know, one of your friends acted wrong there, why would you never say that? Why would you not say that? But Tommy seems to want to prime people to think that's disingenuous for if Chud ever says DeOrio's wrong about something. It's like, dude, what's your fucking problem? Tommy actually did turn DeOrio. Yeah, that's true as well, right? See, this is the thing. Chud's able to have disagreements with people and it not be the end of the friendship. Meanwhile, Tommy had one disagreement with Nick DeOrio about the sexy green M&M. And it caused Tommy to have a complete fucking mental breakdown. It caused this guy to go into just like a total death spiral, thinking Nick was about to come for his head. Because he's just like a brittle, like fragile, like aped old man. Just totally aped old man who's fried by Fox News. Thinks of everything in left-right political dynamics. Thinks everyone's out to get him constantly. It's just very fucking embarrassing.
So you just push this thing up and hope Chud says something negative about it. He usually doesn't. But to me, I don't know if Chud is fair. I feel like Chud is waiting for his moment. And I was kind of reminded of that when he said, I'm calling out you, Nicholas DeOrio. And then he shoehorned something Stardust says in. Now, I know he apologized for it or got it straight. But I'm getting to the point with this, and something that was in McMahon's video that has made me think for the last couple of days, but maybe the meme, Chud is fair, is not quite accurate. So let me make my case to you, right? So
guys, the Chud is fair meme, I'm not too sure about that one. Okay, Tommy.
Calling out you, Chud, and I promise not to tie something that Stardust said and make it about Nicholas DeOrio. Okay,
no, you're just gonna bring up things I've said and make it about Chud. Which is obviously totally different, guys. For some reason, that's totally different.
Just make my case. How about that? So, you know, we have the whole Kuihman, the malcontents, the demanding for debates. I will never do the debates. I will never go on there again. I got cornered by Kuihman. And there also seems to be a pattern when the test balloon doesn't fly, they come back and apologize to you. Like, I had no idea who Kuihman was when I went on there. I didn't know.
Who apologizing?
Oh, he just hates you. It's no problem. Okay, he hates me. Fine. You know. And then the immediate.
Well, dude, what do you think you're being told, dude? What do you think you're being, dude? Chud says to you, "You're okay to take a cooler. He really doesn't like you. He really this guy really fucking hates you. Are you okay to take a cooler?" And you say, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure." What do you think's gonna fucking happen there? What, you think I'm coming on to say, "Hi, Tommy, how's it going, man? You alright? You having a good day? How's your wife, Tommy? How's the kids? How's your wife and kids?" And in a not mocking way. In like a not mocking way. Like, what do you think the conversation's gonna be? This guy hates you. This guy is another content creator who hates you. When he wants to call in. Do you think we're having a positive interaction? Do you think we're having... Like, what do you think's happening from there on out? How are you cornered? You're not cornered. You were given an out, you fucking idiot.
This happened at...
Where's the, Where is the argument I had with him?
No, I honestly don't. I'm not trying.
Let's see the intro. Let's see how Chud introduces this. Thank you for the 249 flip-flop. Thank you. I don't think he's got a job yet, no.
secondhand story is insane, and you guys should be ashamed of yourself. But I want to ask you,
how does Chud bring me in?
He has got the, you know, power dynamic autism, and he's really focusing on that aspect of it and seeing you as downplaying it. So I don't know if I even necessarily agree with him.
He's using the word "very" and, you know, kind of twisting and splitting hairs. You know, I'm not. I haven't focused on what he said now, rather than I haven't run a defense for Dr. Disrespect post finding this stuff. So for him, I can write him off. I can write him off. But any kind of lecture from him.
Okay, but look, that is to me, that's a very lazy way of engaging with it, right? Because you can obviously write someone off.
Would it be okay? That's what he wrote back.
The creators and power dynamics.
Well, I mean, he just wrote back much more controversial than that. Yeah, and I don't think that's I could see the audience looking the other way. And that's I don't know if I said anything much more controversial than that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Mr. Girl is he's obviously got the big thing in regards to creators and power dynamics.
Well, I mean, he just wrote back and he says, well, if it was very graphic, or if it was just a little graphic, would it be okay? That's what he wrote back. And this is a guy that told me on my stream that he found the girls in cuties attractive. So I really don't take any kind of lecture from him.
Okay, but look, that is to me, that's a very lazy way of engaging with it, right? Because you can obviously write someone off for some crazy shit.
I can write him off. But
that doesn't really speak to. I mean, I would look at that and it seems like he has got the, you know, power dynamic autism, and he's really focusing on that aspect of it and seeing you as downplaying it. So I don't know if I even necessarily agree with him.
He's using the word "very" and, you know, kind of twisting and splitting hairs. You know, I'm not. I haven't run a defense. I haven't run a defense for post finding this stuff. So for him,
he is looking worse now, isn't he?
Will and try to make it out like I am running a defense when I'm just making an observation is pretty bad faith. So I don't think I have to be very good faith to somebody like that. And considering that he talks that he's okay with, you know, prepubescent, by the way, saying they're attractive. I'm sorry, I don't owe that guy a fucking thing.
Okay, that's fine. Well, listen, I appreciate you popping on. Okay, as long as you're cool with it. Kuihman did have some issues with what you were saying. And
I'd love to know what they are. Well, he's more than welcome to come calling.
Okay, right. Let's hear this.
Let's have.
By the way,
so I wonder, was anything said before this? I think it must have been.
Kuihman. Oh, he's
Yeah.
I don't know that at all. I don't know that at all. I think I don't. How do I hold him to a different standard when I just said if he heard? It's a
what it feels like is you want to hold Slasher to a different standard because you don't like him. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know that at all. I don't know that at all. I think I don't. How do I hold him to a different standard when I just said if he heard it under the same conditions of Richard Lewis, then yes, Richard Lewis is 100%.
But it's like you're trying to find a reason to do that. Do you not think that's what it feels like to me?
Find a reason. I just gave you two different scenarios. In one scenario, I think he's 100% innocent. The other scenario, he's not. You know, so that's not giving him a double standard. That's giving him two different standards. That's giving him the same standard as Richard Lewis. So if you're going to say that I'm holding a double standard when I give you both scenarios, whether he should be accountable or not, I don't think that's quite fair.
Okay.
All right. So
apparently there's do you know who Kuihman is?
No, what's Kuihman?
Kuihman. Oh, he's you know, an associate of mine. He does a stream. He's been very critical of you. Very hard.
So, like, look, this guy is fucking cheesing. If you don't know what's going on at this point, I'm sorry, but you're an autistic fucking loser. If you're not getting the fucking vibe here, you are severely autistic. I'm sorry. If Tommy wants to say, listen, I put my hands up, I'm autistic, I have autism, then do that, okay? Do that. Say you couldn't read this. But it's this is being telegraphed to you. Like nothing else.
Harsh words I hear.
Oh, really? No, it's Kuihman.
Kuihman. Oh, he's you know, an associate of mine. He does a stream. He's been very critical of you. Very harsh words I hear.
Oh, really?
What do you think about that?
Oh no, I'd like to know what he said. Maybe you can summarize it.
Okay. I mean, listen, if he wants to hop on, maybe you can hop on. I mean, no pressure on anyone, but, you know, just throwing it out there.
No, I honestly don't. I'm not trying to be like, I'm big shot. I have no idea who he is.
Oh, bro.
No.
That's crazy.
I don't know who Kuihman is. No one's wrote me. The only shit that I've taken online is when I made an optical review that if it was somebody like if it was dick and fart jokes to a 17-year-old, which is extremely inappropriate, I think his audience would probably forgive him. Clearly, that ship sailed. It really doesn't matter at this point now. But I don't know what he could be particularly critical of.
Sorry, what was your point there? So you were saying that you think his audience?
No, I made a tweet that was controversial. That Mr. Girl.
Well, let's watch through until I come on. See
if we get, if the details of this come out and we find out these are just dick jokes or maybe sexual innuendo, while inappropriate, while wrong, while worth firing, you could
I could see the audience looking the other way. And that's I don't know if I said anything much more controversial than that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Mr. Girl is he's obviously got a big thing in regards to creators and power dynamics.
Well, I mean, he just wrote back and he says, well, if it was very graphic, or if it was just a little graphic, would it be okay? That's what he wrote back. And this is the guy that told me on my stream that he found the girls in cuties attractive. So I really don't take any kind of lecture from him.
Okay, but look, that is to me, that's a very lazy way of engaging with it, right? Because you can obviously write someone off for some crazy shit.
I can write him off. But
that doesn't really speak to. I mean, I would look at that and it seems like he has got the.
This is when he called me
autism and he's really focusing on that aspect of it and seeing he was downplaying it. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with him.
Yeah, well, he's using the word "very" and kind of twisting and splitting hairs. You know, I'm not. I haven't run. I said now rather. I haven't run a defense. I haven't run a defense for Dr. Disrespect post finding this stuff. So for him to kind of force his will and try to make it out like I am running a defense when I'm just making an observation is pretty bad faith. So I don't think I have to be very good faith to somebody like that. And considering that he talks that he's okay with prepubescent, by the way, saying they're attractive. I'm sorry, I don't owe that guy a fucking thing.
Okay, that's fine. Well, listen. I appreciate you popping on. Okay, as long as you're cool with it. Kuihman did have some issues with what you were saying. And
I'd love to know what they are. Well, he's more than welcome to come and call in.
So there you go. He is asked. Okay, he is told. He's been very critical of you. Had some very harsh words for you. He's told that. Chud is cheesing the whole time he's saying, so he knows it's going to be a shit show. It's blatantly obvious it's going to be a shit show. And then Tommy is asked, do you want to talk? Are you fine to talk to this guy? And Tommy says, yeah, I'm more than happy to. So, what the fuck is the cornering here? Where is the cornering? You were warned. You were given an out twice. And you chose to keep going. You chose it. You didn't want to be a bitch. You didn't want to turn it down. And now you're mad. And now you're mad. And it's Chud's fault for some reason.
Like he didn't know he was going to corner me. Well, I'm pretty sure he knew that. And then it's just the way he is. Just the way he is. Well, I've watched Kuihman for, it's going on 6 months now. And he's a dishonest player. He's the one that's...
Like, how can you even say... It's so crazy to say this. Actually, it's so crazy that I am dishonest. When I will literally, I get on my stream and I just say whatever the fuck I'm thinking, and totally just like will torch shit for no fucking benefit. Like every other month, I like will torch some fucking segment of my community for seemingly no benefit because that's just what I think, and I'm willing to piss them off. But I'm a dishonest actor. If I'm a dishonest actor, why am I not saying things that will actually make me money? Why do I always seem to say things that will do the opposite? Why am I not riding the Ethan wave right now? Why am I not riding the anti-Hassan wave right now? Why am I not, whatever the fuck? There's a million dramas that I could have just been sucking cock and riding the wave on. But just didn't, because I'm a fucking, I have that spurg bone in me. I have to say it. If I'm thinking it, I gotta say it. I got that dog in me. I got that dog in me. That's how it be. Huge. Are you laughing? Okay, dude. But that's how it be. Like, there was no benefit to me, pointing out that... So I'll just go through the ones that people always bring up. There's no benefit to me saying, like, oh, I don't think someone being, I don't know, lolicon is enough to brand them, an irredeemable pedophile that we should cast out forever. I don't think that's good enough. I need a bit more than that. That no benefit to me, really. No real benefit to me from saying that. Nothing but trouble, frankly. Nothing but trouble. What else? There's saying that Alice Hez in her I'm Alex document dishonestly presented things and left her instances of physical abuse till the very end, despite putting all the rest of it in chronological order because she wanted you to not evaluate her actions so much. Saying something like that. Saying I felt that was dishonest. No benefit to me. Nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. Even though it was absolutely correct and it remains true. And it was even true in the rest of it. It's just Alex absolutely was worse. And I don't know, maybe I short-circuited someone's brains. They didn't hear me say that. What else? What other ones have we got? The Hassan shit recently, obviously. Defending Hassan in any way. Basically, any time I've taken the side of a woman as well. Any time you take the side of a woman on the internet is suicide. Yeah. But like in Mr. Girl, saying I like Mr. Girl, I think he's got some interesting content. Yeah, Daniel Green, exactly. Saying Daniel Green's responses proved fucking nothing, because they proved fucking nothing. That's like Cameron if Cameron was 3 points more attractive, by the way. Yeah, many instances I can point to of just times where I've said shit because that's what I actually fucking think, for no benefit, pisses off a bunch of people, because that's what I believe, and no one's providing a satisfactory counter-argument. That's just where I end up. But I'm a dishonest actor. Okay, man. Like, what can I say? What can I even say at that point? What can I even say? Like, a dishonest actor how? Because I'm, what? Cool with DeOrio, but don't toe the line? Like, truly, I don't know how I could be seen by Tommy as a dishonest actor. Unless it's literally just, oh, well, you're a lefty, and all lefties are liars. In which case, I guess, Tommy, sure, there's nothing I can do about that, is there? Nothing I can say to that.
Him and his buddy Jay Stock, that what Destiny did is akin to rape, which is really, I mean, the biggest, funniest insult.
Dude, the idea, you're saying me and Jay Stock pushed the Destiny's a rapist thing. Chud had like 6 thumbnails in a row that said rapist in big letters behind Destiny. All I said, I made the e-rapist argument. I said e-rape is a funny, expressive term that you can logically defend to describe what Destiny did. And I always made it clear it's a funny, rhetorical term for the sake of argument to point out that the level of condemnation you should be giving is much higher than the level of condemnation that people are giving. Everyone was downplaying it. But it's obviously a rhetorical flair, and if you're not fucking retarded, you can see that. But somehow it's me and Jay Stock that pushed the Destiny's a rapist thing when it was Chud and DK who had the rapist thumbnails, and Chud popping off about him being a rapist on stream like 3 times.
To every rape victim that ever lived. I also think they're responsible for actually helping Destiny, because the allegations are so ridiculous. I was so perfectly displayed inside of a Willie Mack Show's video. So personally, I'm sick of it. I think it's weird. I think it's weird to call out Nick DeOrio. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. I don't know at all.
That just says it all, doesn't it? I think it's weird to call out Nicholas DeOrio. Yeah, we know you can never imagine pointing out things that you disagree with your friends on, or holding them to account in public in any way. We know, because you're aware that if someone criticizes you in public, you get made fun of, and you can't take it. So you want your friends to have that same attitude so that you can all look after each other. Tommy, I think we understand that at this point. I think we've got that at this point, Tommy. You think it's weird to call out your friends in any way. We get it.
Something else you didn't know. So Kuihman watches this crazy McMahon video, which is completely nuts.
Crazy McMahon video. Crazy McMahon video.
Like, compares it to genocide and it's just something that's genocide and pedophilia. And
whoa, it said the words genocide and pedophilia. Well, Tommy's making a very compelling case here.
All this crazy stuff. And he apparently watched this fucker unironically. Now, I didn't watch Kuihman. Did everybody else see that?
So apparently he watched this. Apparently he watched this. I don't know, though. Wow, awesome commentary, Tommy.
Kuihman actually watched that unironically? Like, that guy had a point? It's literally in like 20 minutes of I hate you.
I don't know what you're saying. The McMahon video is nuts. The McMahon video was cringy and poorly argued. It wasn't particularly crazy. There's absolutely a point to be made that people will virtue signal about retarded shit like Vosh, but then and say like, oh, Vosh is normalizing pedophilia or whatever retarded arguments like that. But then when there's a criticism of, oh, you're supporting a genocide or you're backing a genocide, despite that obviously being a far more significant and important a material claim that actually, you know, has relevance or importance, you actually have, as an American citizen, some impact on that directly. When that claim's brought up, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. And we don't, in fact, we don't even need to interrogate that. We don't even need to interrogate that. We don't even need to question it. There's absolutely a point to be made there. In one case, you're crying about a cartoon, and in the other case, you are sweeping or refusing to engage or whatever it be with a point that has material outcomes for people's lives. There's absolutely a point there. And that was the main point I remember from the video. It was a pretty I think it was a pretty embarrassing, cringy video that was poorly argued. But I think there were legitimate grievances in there. I think if you're just gonna go genocide and pedophilia, it's like, what, you clearly you didn't actually listen to the point that was being made, or you're too stupid to understand it. It's one of the two. Probably too stupid to understand it in Tommy's case. But it was poorly argued, so I don't even put that totally on Tommy. I'll be totally fair.
Am I off here? I don't know. No, he didn't watch it.
Oh yeah, so we've got this amazing chat message. Even ChudLogic's had mod. Stylo King, highly malicious, also mod for Kuihman. So this Rebecca person is a mentally disabled TommyC fan who has been in here giving some of the dumbest takes ever before and just gets mocked every time. So, okay, read her.
Am I off here? I don't know. No, he didn't watch it ironically. Well, I don't know if that's true or not because he apparently apologized to Nick.
So I don't know what fucking parallel universe this waterbrain dipshit is living in, where I'm apologizing to Nick for reacting to a video. In what fucking world would I go and apologize to Nick for reacting to a video? Are you fucking retarded? Unless it doxed him. Unless it was like literally doxing him. I would never fucking apologize to another content creator for reacting to a video about them. What a fucking insane thing to even propose. Stupid fucking thing to even propose.
And this is not the first time. It just feels like, you know.
Yeah, I've never apologized to Nick for my coverage, and I never fucking would unless I got something grossly wrong or did something that was obviously harmful to him personally. You know, like doxing or some shit like that. I would obviously like. Why would I ever fucking apologize for my coverage? I just imagine, is this what this Tommy retard's friendships are like? He goes around apologizing for his fucking coverage. Dude, fuck that. I just won't be fucking friends with people like that. Someone needs an apology for my coverage. Why the fuck would I, like, associate with someone like that as part of my business where I cover content online? I'm going to be friends with someone who starts demanding apologies and shit over my coverage or expects that from... You're fucking crazy. So I understand you live a pathetic, locked-in life where you're a slave to someone 25 years younger than you, desperately throating cock to hold on to 200 viewers. I'm not about that. Not about that personally. Really, would rather just be out on my own irrelevant than fucking sucking cock for 200 viewers.
Fundamental understanding why Ethan Klein's people don't like Ethan Klein. It just seems like the situation with me and admittedly Chud shut it down. It just seems like there's just a constant wave of gotcha. A constant wave. And I don't know if Chud is just too audience captured or he's snaking people. That's what I don't know. I don't like it. I haven't heard from Chud in 6 months, pretty much quickly after they got him to talk about Kinetic Hell. And those guys have been trying to shoehorn me some kind of inappropriate relationship. They talked about my wife and how inappropriate, always trying to make me like the tipster and the goth queen. And Chud entertained it pretty unfairly, I think. And that was also around the same time. And by the way, you know what Kinetic Hell is? Kinetic Hell is a Patreon that came to me and asked to do an interview. Somehow that made me a sex pest. It was unbelievable. And Chud entertained.
Going after her when she was 14. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Chud doesn't entertain that, but he keeps entertaining this. And I also sort of feel like Ethan Klein in this situation. If you're kind of running over those people, you're really not my friend. You're my critic. And that's fine.
So, dude.
But I don't particularly...
Look at this. So this mentality 6 months ago, a year ago, I feel like you were doing fucking skewered for saying some stupid shit like this. What? If you associate with my critics as my friend, you're not my friend, you're my enemy. But now, I guess Ethan Klein has popularized this way of thinking, where you literally should create your own cabal. You should create your own cabal. If you don't fuck with all of us, you don't fuck with any of us. If you don't fuck with all of us, you don't fuck with any of us. Stay away. This is our group. This is our clubhouse. How about I set your clubhouse on fire? How about I come and set your clubhouse on fire, actually, TommyC? How about I do that? How about that?
Trust that. And by the way, before you say I'm a water-brained retard, and
I already did. Already did.
And this is a big conspiracy theory. Chud, you can look into it. I'm not the only one. Hence why nobody has been on the show that comes from my community. You know, like Turkey Toms and Willies. That's why nobody's gone on there. You can check into that. You can look into it.
So now he's saying, Chud, the group chat are talking shit about you. Chud, the group chat are talking shit about you, bro. The group chat are talking shit about you. Okay, thanks for outing them, I guess. Thanks for outing them as totally fucking embarrassing losers. Thanks, Tommy. So, oh wait, so you're saying that, okay, Tommy, so you're saying that Nick DeOrio, and this is Tommy saying this, not me, of course. Tommy's implying that Nick DeOrio, Willie Mac, and Turkey Tom are complete bitch-made losers that would rather sit in a group chat crying about how Chud's friends with people that are mean to them than ever confront anyone in public or to their face. If that's what Tommy is saying, leaking about his friends, Turkey Tom, Willie Mac, and Nick DeOrio, then that's on him. I guess if that's what he wants to say, I wouldn't have assumed they were quite that fucking bitch-made, to be honest. Especially not Nick and Tom. Willie I can absolutely see, but especially not Nick and Tom, I wouldn't have imagined a bitch-made like that. But that seems to be what Tommy's leaking here. So I don't know what to go on here. Yeah, exactly. I don't see, like, you know, he can say that, oh, Nick don't fuck with you no more, but Nick's in Chud's chat, like, every day still. So I don't even... Nick might have felt, like, betrayed by this. I think, you know, Aiden was kind of implying that on J-Stooks last night. Nick might have felt betrayed by this, but the idea that he's, cut Chud off, I don't think that's true. But, I mean, if he feels betrayed by it, I think that's kind of embarrassing as well. I think getting in your feelings about this shit is quite fucking embarrassing. Quite fucking embarrassing. I think it shows a little bit of, insecurity. Not a little bit, a lot of insecurity. I think if any of the people Tommy's listing are actually feeling the way Tommy's explaining, I would see them as incredibly fucking insecure, and I'd be very disappointed by that character. I don't know about anyone else, but yeah, that would be really fucking disappointing, to be honest. Oh, commentary, guys, yeah. So talk shit online, yeah. Do 3-hour-long documentaries tearing apart someone's life from the moment they were born until the moment their career imploded. But nobody talk about... Nobody make jokes about me. Nobody say I'm sucking some content creator's dick. Nobody say I'm siding with the ADL. Nobody say... Like, what world are we living in? You really can't take that. Nobody say that my girlfriend cheated on me with lyrics. Nobody say that I'm sucking Destiny's cock and my video sucked. Like, and you can't take this shit when you... With your history of content, with your channels, you can't fucking take this. How pathetic. Again, I don't know that any of it's even true. It's coming from Tommy. Aiden seemed to back up a little bit of it, but if it's true in the way Tommy's saying it, that is very sad.
Nobody trusts you. Whether it's just because you're afraid of Kuihman, I don't know, right? I could, or you're a snake and waiting for them to hit gold so you can turn around when the next Nicholas DeOrio video comes out and say, wow, sorry, Nick, I know we were friends, but that was a good video.
So, like, this is like, what? What would be the problem? He's saying that as if that would be the, whoa, friendship over. Why would Chud saying, Nick, I think this video that criticized you was pretty good, actually. I think there's some good criticisms you should respond to there. Why would that be the end of their relationship? Why does Tommy think that? It's so retarded. Chud would not end a friendship with Nick, unless Nick would end it, Why would Chud would not end a friendship with Nick because a video made good criticisms of him? That's so ridiculous. You don't have to disagree or don't have to agree or think your friend acted perfectly in every situation to be friends with them. You can have criticisms of your friends, and you can make them publicly. But he wants a cabal. He wants a cabal. He wants a cabal to protect him because he knows that he's shit, he's unentertaining, he's got no insight, he's just an embarrassing, sad old fuck who can only lean on his age as some kind of authority. He's a sad, embarrassing old fuck with nothing of worth to say, and he wants a group of friends around him to big him up and defend him and tell people, no, Tommy's worth watching. Tommy's worth watching. When he's not. When he's not.
I don't know if that's your plan, but you run with snakes. It's the same criticism I made of Ethan Klein, by the way. You run with a lot of snakes, and it's starting to seem like the kind of criticism you have of them is kind of a bit of a show.
So again, you run with a lot of snakes. How am I a snake? Who have I ever snaked? Other than Parry, when I present things he said in a dishonest way for the sake of fucking with him. Who have I ever snaked? Or J-Stalk when I pretend he's fat. But like other than stupid jokes like that. What is the snaking? What is the snaking? What is the snaking? You call Chud a pedo. True, true. I come out here and I say what I think. I am a real ass wigger talking my shit day in, day out. I just say what's on my mind. I get an autistic fire lit in my chest about some topic, and I have to go live and talk about it. And that's me every day. Is I look around on the internet till there's something I'm annoyed about enough to rant, or amused by enough to rant about for at least an hour. And I just go live and do it, and I just say what I think. Where is the snaking? Where is the snaking? Explain this one to me, I'm begging.
Just putting it out there. You're more than welcome to respond to it the way you see fit. There's another thing.
Okay, buddy.
The famous New Year's stream, and this is the thing that really bothers me the most. And this is something I actually picked up when I was watching. Do you all remember the New Year's stream? Remember the New Year's stream?
Yeah, it was an interesting stream, I'd say the least.
What were the two? What was the big development in the New Year's stream?
Let me think. Destiny?
You know, Bobax with the dress, right?
Bowplanks, yeah.
All right. Well, this is, I think Chud even knows this. Nobody believes for a minute that Chud didn't drop that on purpose.
He's right about this one. He is right about this. Tommy's absolutely right about this one.
Same community.
100% Chud did that intentionally, without a doubt in my mind. 100%.
No, keep this in mind. I knew about the Bobax dress, and some of Bobax's critics who
Chud
had enough
evil.
respect for him kept that quiet too, including Nick, And so what does Chud do? He brings up the dress out of nowhere. What's his explanation? I thought that was already public. I remember his exact
logic.
Quote. Would.
He does do that.
Absolutely nobody believes that wasn't done on purpose. Now, who fucking cares? It's Blowbacks. He's treated Nick like shit. He's a complete backstabber. He'll say absolutely anything. So, yeah, I think everybody's like, fuck it. But it did get some people's attention. That was kind of a weird thing to do. And if you really believe that Chud believes that it was, I thought it was out there, then how come there were no videos on Blowback's dress between the months of August and early January? I think that might have got some attention. I'm just guessing. And you know what? I don't care that it's not like Chud had any kind of loyalty to Bobax or anything, but everybody pretty much agreed that maybe we shouldn't go that far. If it's a sexuality, well, whatever.
This guy still thinks you knew based on that comment you made on the... wait, really? He thinks I knew from the start still? The only person I would have found that out from was DeOrio, because I used to press DeOrio about the all the Bobax shit in like private VCs, and he wouldn't tell me anything. Like, he would like give me little fucking hints, and I would like just jab around and just like absolutely just probe. And then not really get anywhere.
Told you. And by the way, Zab Gaming, Nobody believes he didn't do that on purpose. Chud, you can check it into yourself. You can talk to people that were in the stream. You can check. Nobody bought it. Not for a second. And it was seen as kind of low. But fuck it. It's Bobax. He's a piece of shit to us anyway and would stab us in the back as soon as look at us. But what if I told you there was something worse in that stream?
Whoa.
Something that I just noticed when with McMahon. And I started to remember on that New Year's stream. At one point...
So, I guess this is what Tommy's whole complaint about Chud right now is truly, the linchpin is this. And he's just wrong.
Remember when I told you that everybody knew about Pixie? Everybody knew?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Everybody knew?
You did mention Styler.
It reminded me. And I remember seeing it and thinking it was a little weird. Everybody knew all of them. I don't know about Augie and how much he knew. They all knew it was coming out. Every single one of them knew it was coming out. I don't know if they knew who, what, where, when, or how, but they knew it was coming out, right? At that particular time, Turkey Tom is still friends with Destiny. And he's got to keep the fucking rouge up.
So, this isn't true, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if they were still friends behind the scene. Tom had publicly distanced himself by this point. Tom distanced himself from Destiny when the initial bout of leaks happened. Because once... Yeah, Rouge, not Rouge as well. Because once the initial bout of leaks happened with the video of Destiny sucking cock, a bunch of people started saying, it's Tom, it's Tom, it's Tom. Everyone was calling Tom gay. He couldn't take it. And so he was like, yeah, that shit's all weird. I'm not associating with any of that. I'm not associating with any of that. That's all weird and gay. And so he distanced himself. So that was publicly. I don't know if he was still friends in private, but publicly that was the case. So I'm pretty sure Tommy's just wrong about this.
At this point, knowing damn well when this thing comes out, he's going to distance himself. Otherwise, who does it tip off? Destiny. I found it really strange, incredibly strange, that all of a sudden Chud is putting pressure on Tom and being extraordinarily anti-DGG.
Okay, and?
Putting Tom in a really, really weird position.
Yeah, Tom and Nick were being fucking dishonest in that call. And not just with the... Not about the revenge porn stuff either. But... They were saying, oh, DGG aren't that bad. They only go after you if you're crazy like Mr. Girl or Kelly. That's what they were saying. And then days later or weeks later, we get a private call leaked of Nick where he's like saying that he's terrified of the audience, basically. I'm sorry, but they were terrified of DGG and they were totally lying about it and capping in that stream. And Chud was right to press them about it. Just true.
Now, Tom can't come right out on it because they don't know what's coming out. And remember what Nick said, you don't know A, if this girl's going to change her mind, or B, if she's going to get her money, and C, she didn't want it to come out. That's why Craig and President Sunday are listed in the lawsuit. You know who's not listed in the lawsuit? The old school lame commentary guys. Nicholas DeOrios isn't listed in it. Willie Max
yeah, he's calling Beckett Craig because Craig Beckett, who was a different commentary YouTuber. The different commentary YouTuber who sexted a 17-year-old and got ran off the internet. But his name's Craig Beckett, and for some reason, I actually don't know if it's intentional or not. Whether Tommy means to do this or not, I actually have no idea. But I think he may have just slipped in Craig by mistake, thinking Beckett.
Listen at it. No, it's just kind of the Kuihman crowd and the spicy chat crowd.
Spicy chat strong. Spicy chat strong.
That to me, I don't know what that is. Maybe I know the Bobax isn't an honest mistake, but that really, really rubs me the wrong way. And it's why I don't really have anything to do with Chud. It's why nobody goes on.
What
Chud.
sense does this make? Because we're in the lawsuit.
What isn't? It just seems and,
Snake.
You know,
I don't understand.
This thing like, I'm calling out you, Nicholas DeOrio. I'll talk about something DeOrio never talked about, like the ADL, trying to tie him to that censorship organization, something that he's never talked about. It's like
this is such a lame thing to say. Saying he's never talked about. No, you just like, you know, you don't necessarily talk about the ADL, and I don't even know if that's true, by the way. Nick totally could have sided with the ADL. I haven't watched all of his coverage, so I've got no idea what he said at various different points, so I wouldn't draw any firm conclusions here. However, it's just running out. It's like, oh, never even spoke about the ADL. Let's take that as truth. Let's take that as truth. But you could imagine that maybe if you don't necessarily speak about the ADL, but you make every single argument the ADL would make, and then at the very end where it's like, should they be deplatformed? You're like, oh, I don't know, though. I don't know if they should be deplatformed. I don't know if they should be deplatformed. While the ADL is making those same arguments for the deplatforming and taking it the full way, you're siding at that point. You're running the campaign. You're part of the campaign. You're running the line. You're leading everyone right up to that step, and then just letting them do the rest themselves. And it's very odd. And that, you know, you can very easily imagine that might be what's happening. Not that I would know. But just saying, oh, they don't talk about the ADL, that doesn't mean anything. You can still criticize the position that they have. You can still criticize the position someone has and how that helps the ADL and how they are perhaps, especially in Ethan's case, cynically using the ADL to advance their own interests. You can still call that out, even if they're not saying the ADL by name.
Kind of shady. Well, he knows it didn't go over that well because he contacted Nick and asked to talk about it. Yeah, that's right. He wanted to talk about it with him, and get things straight. You know why he wanted to get things straight? Because he knew if he made any honest criticism about Ethan Klein, it would be seen as drama. That's bullshit, and he knows it. He could absolutely criticize Ethan Klein for any wacky thing that he had done and say no disrespect to Nick or no disrespect to that. No. You know the one way, the wrong way to do it? I'm calling out you, Nicholas DeOrios. Uh-oh, that didn't float. Nick, we need to talk about this privately. Well, I suggested that he not talk about it privately because it's doing one of two things. You're just doing a lame-ass temperature check, or you're just trying to get his talking.
I agree it's a gay temperature check. Talk about it on live stream. I agree. But Nick won't do that for some reason. Nick is totally unwilling to talk about his disagreements on this drama in public. So, what are you going to do? I agree. Private conversations are the lame-ass temperature checks. If you've got a disagreement, disagree in public. People just don't want to do that because they want their narrative. Content creators want to maintain their narrative. They don't want to have to be forced into these positions where they might have to cede ground. That means they can't run the same narrative they've already been running. That's why I think Nick right now probably won't talk to people in public. Because I don't think he's willing to cede ground that might, take parts out of the narrative.
Points. So I think that's utterly ridiculous. Your relationship with Nick DeOrios is your business, as is everybody else that's in that chat. Everybody. But I tell you something. I'd be awful, and you can bet I told him that that's awful fucking sus. Yeah, that was me. And by the way, don't know all the names. I'm not the only one, and it's not recent. Not at all. I can tie the kinetic Kel thing to just after I got $5,000 from Musty. Then all of a sudden, I'm getting grilled on that channel. And I see
So this is awesome. This is awesome. Tommy thinks the reason he's been psyoped, the reason his brain has been broken down over the course of the last 6 months or whatever, is because Musty donated to him. Musty's Starlink donation marked him for death, okay? That marked him for death. We thought we got him before that, and then Musty extended it, and we had to make sure that was the end, okay? And what's more, Chud was jealous. Chud was jealous of that Musty donation. He had to stop this. He had to stop this immediately.
What's going on? I'm like, I see the thumbnail that comes out. I'm like, oh, I know what happens here. I've seen that before. Oh, I'm sorry. My thumbnail guy made it.
So do we know what thumbnail Tommy C's mad about here? So it's this one, I believe. I'm done mooching off my wife. I quit. This is the one he's mad about. Dude, this is so light. This is like the most light ribbing. You do mooch off your wife. You admit to mooching off your wife. You even brag about mooching off your wife at some points. You literally brag about the fact you mooch off your wife. And now you're crying that DK lightly ribbed you in the thumbnail about the fact you admittedly mooch off your wife. Bro, quit fucking crying, you stupid bitch.
Absolutely no control of it. Well, I tell you something. Me and Nick would have a problem. The thing is, you and me aren't close enough for me to give a fuck. right? Me and Nick would have a problem if he tried to make me out to be some kind of loser like that. But here's the thing. One of the reasons I didn't bitch about it, because you made it.
So this is just like, again, this is so embarrassing. This is just totally embarrassing. The idea that you don't just, that you're not willing to treat your friend's drama the same way you treat any drama online. So you are just showing the cabal mentality. Like, imagine any other content creator says the shit Tommy was saying there. Imagine Innuendo Studio says the shit Tommy was saying in that video Chud watched. The thumbnail will be 10 times crazier. But Tommy wants complete, you know, complicity. He wants complete gunt guarding from all of his friends. He wants everyone to be on the team. It's fucking pathetic. It's so fucking pathetic.
It is abundantly clear that you're a critic, not my friend, and you have every right to be a critic. I just don't think you're a very good friend. I think you're looking for the day. I think you're using Kuihman and all those guys to just kind of get a goal. And to the one moment you say, yeah, Nick really, he's a sweeper this time. He's really a dick rider this time. You tried it with Willie Mack, and you're all ready to come down on him. I remember when you started your stream. I was at my son's birthday party, right? And you're all ready to go hard on Willie Mack until Nick tweeted about it and said that Willie did a great job after a completely unfair debate situation, the kind of debates that I will never be involved with. I can promise you that. So, Chud, I don't think you need to go hard on him. I remember when you started your stream. I was at my son's birthday party, right? And you're all ready to go hard on Willie Mack until Nick tweeted about it and said that Willie did a great job after a completely unfair debate situation, the kind of debates that I will never be involved with. I can promise you that. So, Chud.
Chud, wait, but I thought Chud did kind of go hard on the Willie Mack video. Didn't Chud say the Willie Mack video missed the mark in a lot of ways? Like, I don't... Yeah, also he was watching Chud at his son's birthday. I don't even remember Chud's reaction to it. Jason was catching a lot of strays. Well, yeah, because Jay Stalk kind of set himself up because he was going, why don't you include me in the video or whatever. Jay Stalk totally set himself up in that drama. But yeah, I mean, I don't. Maybe my recollections of, I don't remember Chud like particularly pulling punches about the video that much. Augie, obviously, like the idea that. Yeah, people weren't unfair to the video anyway. All the criticism of the video was totally fair. Like, Augie, like, had that whole debate with Nick, where Nick was being very, you know, shameful, to be honest. Like, refusing to engage with any point. Just desperately avoiding it. No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think he's like, no, well, don't you think this? Don't you think... And it was, like, quite a shameful showing. So, yeah. I think to pretend it was all unfair is, like, totally retarded.
I don't know if this is jealousy. I don't know if you're a rat. I don't know if your audience captured. I don't know.
Yeah, Augie was very sharp in that debate. That was really funny.
Tell you the truth, don't really want to know because I'm going to treat you like a rat no matter what. And I'm just get out of your life and have nothing to do with you. Now, I haven't heard from you in 6 months, so you can't do this whole thing, oh, I'm stabbing you in the back. No, I'm not. I haven't heard from you. I have no idea what's going on. All I know is our relationship changed immediately after I got a generous donation from Musty that kept me up for like a month and a half so I could continue to do the show. And I retired. That's right. Kuihman made me retired.
Let's go. Let's go. Tommy giving us the win. Let's go. That's huge. Let's go. Apes together strong.
A generous donation from Musty that kept me up for like a month and a half so I could continue to do the show. And I retired. That's right. Kuihman made me retired. And that's it. He got me, I guess. I don't know.
He got me, I guess. No, I got you. No, I got you.
I don't know where that came from. Oh, wait a minute. That came from you. Thanks for the support, buddy, pal.
So he's like, yeah, he's just actually about Chud set him up. Chud set him up to get got by me. Okay, it's over. Chud totally set this guy up. Chud ruined this guy's life.
And two-faced, and I smell the Keemstar principle. So if it's jealousy, if it's whatever it is, you know, good luck with that.
I guess I'm like totally owned. I guess I'm like owned.
Jealousy won't get you anywhere. If you are getting passed by Nick and other streamers and they pass your relevance level, do what I do. congratulate them. Don't phony call them out. You can certainly criticize.
Dude, literally, again, pass. Nick is not past Chud. Nick has always been bigger than Chud. It's a retarded idea.
Ethan Klein. By the way, I have been for months, and me and Nick have talked about the differences without stirring drama. Don't criticize Nick's talking point. Make up your own. But you're never that definitive on anything. You're a fence rider. And that comes off as being fair. It's not. I think it's fake. I think you're a phony friend. I think you're a phony friend. And considering what you did to get Nick's attention and how he helped you, and the other guys too, and the whole loser commentary community, they've been very, very, very good for you. Unbelievably generous. Let's not forget that you got catfished by a 17-year-old boy.
So, dude, this is awesome. This is epic. TommyC turned around and said, actually, you were a pedophile the whole time. And I looked the other way. I looked the other way for you, ChudLogic. Pulling the Elon. Awesome stuff.
And the other guys too, and the whole loser commentary community, they've been very, very, very good for you. Unbelievably generous. Let's not forget that you got catfished by a 17-year-old boy. And everybody, including myself, looked the other way, thought it was fucked up, and gave you the best.
So he's revealing way too much here. Way too much. So for most people, I think the case with Chud is she misrepresented her age. And so people look at it and go, okay, I don't place that much culpability on Chud because nothing really happened. And she misled him, or he, or whatever. It misled him about its age. Okay? Now, so I don't really put that on Chud. Like, it's not a big deal. It's like, you know, it shouldn't happen, but who gives a fuck? That's you know, and that'd be the case for anyone. That'd be the case for anyone. You know, not just Chud. That's just the way I would look at those allegations. Tommy's saying something different, though. Tommy's saying, if it were anyone other than Chud, this would be really fucked up. But I was friends with Chud, so I was willing to let him get away with it. Dude. You should be completely written off after saying something like this. You're totally compromised. You've just said you willingly ignored a grooming allegation against one of your friends because they were your content creator friend. That's it. You're done. Your career's over. Sorry. That's it. If you hadn't already retired, that's it. Your career's over. What a fucking insane thing to say. You looked the other way. You thought it was fucked up, but you looked the other way. So you protect groomers. You would like protect the groomer. That's what you're saying. You're like a completely amoral piece of shit, purely driven by which dipshit will be friends with you. You're like complete scum. That's what you're saying, Tommy. You're like utterly worthless scum who will never speak his mind as long as the people are being nice to him. That's what you've just laid out for us. Is that even in the case of someone that's having sexual interactions with minors that you think is fucked up, if they're your friends, you're such disgusting, low-life scum that you will look the other way. This is the conservatives who care about kids, by the way. Save the kids. Oh, these pedophiles in power. Tommy would be Epstein's best friend. Tommy would be like, it's all right, Jeff. I won't tell anyone. That'd be Tommy.
A year ago, I couldn't believe I was saying this. I was on the phone. This guy's the best fucking guy. I'm so ready. I love his show. I love calling in. Do you ever see me call in any other shows like that? Never. Never. Because I love it. And then all of a sudden, I get a donation.
And Did you see Chud laughing at Ocean Gate earlier? Truly unforgivable, unhinged, manic behavior.
They're entertaining me being a sex pest, and they're entertaining the whole slasher thing, which I don't particularly remember. And he did shut it down in fairness, but it just seemed like they're just waiting. I've seen it continue. I've seen it continue with Willie. I've seen it continue with Nick, and they're just trying to nail old Mr.
Dude, Waco and the Titanic sub are Chud's special interest.
Have nothing to do. I don't know if Chud's really doing this or not. I don't know if he's doing this or not. to have nothing to do with him because you can't trust him. Whether he's ordering audience capture or being a rat, I don't know which, then he's not somebody to trust. And believe me, nothing Batman I'm saying is new because nobody's been on. And this is what's being talked about behind the scenes. Yes, Chud, that's it. I don't know if you're sitting there giggling saying, we got him, we're fooling him, we got a perfect system here. Nobody bought it. Nobody bought it. They didn't want to fight with you because they liked you. They didn't want to alienate Nick. And look, you got to deal with your relationships. Now you know where I stand, because one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this is because I want everybody to know where I stand. I want you to know and everybody else. I don't trust you. I think you're kind of a weird guy. And I don't think you're that great a debater either, if you want to get...
So, dude, I don't like you. You're a weird guy. And you know what, actually, Chud? You're not that great a debater either. What do you think of that? Because Chud was like really billing himself as the best debater in the world, was he? That's Chud, right? Chud's always saying how much of an amazing debater he is, how, you know, that's what he prides himself on, is his amazing debate skills. Right? That's Chud, right? The guy who went on a hippy-dippy royale with aristocracy against two libertarians to call them pedophiles for 3 hours. Or, well, however long it is. I think it might have been 40 minutes, but you know what I mean. Just sat there calling them pedophiles the whole time. And so that's, you know, Chud prides himself on his excellent debate skills.
This debate stuff. I think it's just, you just ride the waves. You're kind of like the English guys. You look a little different. You sound a little different. You're a little better spoken than the English guys we dealt with in 2016 and 2017.
And now it's back to the commentary trauma. You're just like I'm Alex. You're just like Pyrocynical. You're just like Kavos. You're just like, shut the fuck up, you old bastard. No one gives a fuck. Shut up, you stupid old bastard.
Any wave will do. And I don't know why you want to get off the DeOrio wave. Maybe it's because he's pulling 7,000, whatever.
You know, this is like totally retarded. Get off the DeOrio wave because he's pulling 7,000. Why would someone pulling more views make you want to get off of their wave? That sounds very counterproductive, Tommy.
You certainly don't have to support Ethan Klein. The guy is nuts. I completely agree with you on that. But don't act like you can't criticize it without alienating Nick or creating drama. You can do it. I've been doing it for months. I said Ethan was wrong about pressuring iDubbbz, and I took it back when I realized Ethan was right. And I also said from the very beginning that Ethan asked for this shit because he got in bed with a bunch of fucking lunatic communists. So there you go. Now you know where I stand. And for all the other, you know, malcontents, these weirdos, like this virtue signaling white knight bullshit from J-Stalk demand. Look, no one has to debate you. No one has to debate you. And now what you can do,
of course, no one has to debate anyone, of course, but you are a complete bitch if you will not face reasonable criticism in a live conversation. You are a total bitch. You just are. I'm sorry. If you were not, as a content creator who spends all day criticizing others, will not get into a call and face a reasonable criticism from someone not just treating you like absolute shit, of course. You don't have to do it with me. I'm not saying anyone has to fucking talk to me, of course. If you're not willing to face down reasonable criticism, you're a bitch, okay? And even, to be honest, a lot of these people I do think are pussies if they won't talk to me, to be quite honest. Because I'm not even, like, I gotta be real. People overplay how bad I am, I think. I don't think I'm actually that bad. I think I can be aggressive in conversations, but I don't think I'm ever being just, like, fucking dishonest or anything. I think I'm pretty much... Yeah, I argue relatively fairly. I will be aggressive. I do the thing. Listen, I will admit, I'm knotted. I've said this many times. I'm knotted. There is a specific thing that I do that I believe I've probably picked up from being knotted, okay? And it is, I will interrupt. If someone is saying something, I will interrupt when I disagree. So if someone starts laying out a bunch of premises leading to a conclusion, if I take issue with one of those premises, I'm going to stop it there. That's where I'm going to try and cut in and stop the conversation right there. Because why would you like... It's annoying as fuck when someone is building out a conclusion, you disagree with the premise to the point where that conclusion, literally, it can't, whatever conclusion they're building to can't follow for you. So why would you let them continue building up this whole case that you're not going to buy into? You're going to have to go back like 3 steps once it's your turn to talk to unpick that. That's retarded. You are wasting so much time. You're wasting time and it's fucking boring. You sitting there giving your grand thesis on this whole thing is not interesting enough to overwrite how interesting it is for an audience to hear a tense back and forth where you're getting to like the core of a disagreement. Everyone would rather hear that. No one wants to hear the 5-minute diatribe. Everyone wants to hear the quick getting, you know, down to the absolute core of the disagreement. That's where it should go as quickly as possible, in my opinion. But people don't like that. People don't like that because they often, I think, this is what I think, oftentimes people do have conclusions built on a few faulty premises, and if they are put into a situation where they have to defend each premise, that quickly becomes a problem, and they don't like it, and they get very prangy, and they get very like, oh, I don't want to ask questions now. I don't want to ask questions now. It's just like, okay. So at that point, that's them being dishonest. That's nothing to do with me.
It's just try to push up everything to Chud from your content and see if he picks a side. Because that's what it looks like to me. Don't know if it is. Doesn't matter. But it looks fake to me. It looks like a bunch of fake bullshit. So, hey, McMahon, did you like that? you were the spawn for that. Now he can answer all these allegations or my questions and what have you on his own fucking stream, and I will move on. I promise you. If he wants to come back at me, I'll be happy to answer him. But I tell you what, if you just say I'm retarded and conspiracy theories, you're gonna have to deal with one of two things. A, that's gonna leave an empty taste in your audience's mouth, and B, I'm not the only one. Have a good day.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom.
So hard. It's so hard, man.
Well, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something.
There you go. Stick around. That's the way I feel.
Guys, I haven't shielded at all this stream, by the way. We've got 523 people here, 82 likes on the stream. So almost 440 people. Might please move their cursor, thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing a thumbs up on the mobile device. That'd be huge appreciated. Now, if you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through the Stream Elements link in the pin chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat, which will highlight a message and read it on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF that'll be highlighted in chat, and they'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. You can also watch every day live on twitch.tv/Kuihman. Also, guys, huge push recently for active engagement, okay? Always be clipping ABC, and post like hell, okay? Run a Twitter account, run a Reddit account, run a Discord account, run accounts everywhere. Constantly post clips. Always be clipping stuff from streams, my stream, other people's streams, whatever. Editorialize, talk about it, reply to each other. Post, just like post everything everywhere. Always be clipping. Post like hell. We also have a Twitter group, Twitter community, ran by Freddie Woods. Freddie Woods runs our unofficial Twitter community here. Chimp Clips. So take a look at that. Go join there. And yeah, post like hell. Very important. Thank you for the $1, Bumba. Thank you.
Off my chest. Bye. Good luck. Hey, I'm retired. It don't matter. I say what the fuck I like, right? There you go. Get shut and call love funds. All right, let's watch this horse shit.
Now, thankfully for me, I have the majority of this video already recorded. This is just a little addendum. I think an addendum is something that you put at the end, but this is a predendum. I'm throwing in a little predendum. Something that I've been struggling with for a long time on YouTube is concern trolling. The thing that I really struggle with is not identifying concern trolling. The difficult part of
identify your last video. Else content go.
It's all just concern trolling, man.
I'm sure Batman. I'm sure Chuds has defended me several times before, but I'm sorry. This behavior is bizarre. Yes, he has. When it's absolutely fucking ridiculous, and he doesn't have the position to do it, he doesn't. I've defended Chuds before. If you remember, if you know that, Batman, I've done it before myself. right? I've even done it when I'm suspicious of it. By the way, I'll continue to do it too. I'm just telling you, I don't trust that guy. I think I'm calling out you, Nick DeOrio. Since when are we talking about the ADL? Never. No, I'm sorry, Nick. It just kind of came out that way. That's what I heard when after I got off the phone, the guy I didn't know called Kuihman. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't know it was going to go that way. No, I was retard wrangled.
Aw. He thinks he's a retard. He's a retard.
How many times can this fucking happen? And then if you look at the Bobax thing, which, by the way, nobody believes, and you look at the thing with the Turkey Tom and the way he was positioning himself when he knew damn well this was going to come out, it's sus. Is it proof? No. But it's enough for me to say, sayonara.
And make no mistake, right? If I had simply, like, you know, if I wasn't, if things had gone differently, right? Tommy would simply accept, like, people were against me in the chat for that TommyC debate. People hated me. People were spurging out. They hated me. They were calling me retarded and everything. They hated me for it. I was not winning at the time in the public eye. They would have been perfectly happy to totally treat it as though, like, I'm just, like, totally deranged and insane. You know, I was the one being retard wrangled. And they would have been totally fine to have treated like that if it had gone the other way. If public opinion had stayed that way. And I had done nothing to gain any favor, right? They would totally be willing to write me off completely. And the only reason they're mad is because that didn't work. The only reason people like Tommy are mad is because they couldn't just do that. But he would have been totally fine with Chud. So everything would be totally fine if this simply hadn't happened. If it had just gone in his favor, stayed in his favor. So it is literally all just about losing the public opinion long-term war. And that's the source of all of his animus here, very clearly. Yeah, the weakest psyop of all time, where we just say, we're psyoping this guy, and then he does it to himself. You already reacted to other vids as well. What other vids? Is there one of these that I should watch? Did we watch this one? I think we actually did watch this one. I'm not sure, though. But we need to watch Chud's response from today. We need to watch Chud's response.
Vosh exposed his...
Was there new Jake Weddle? What? Why does he say new Jake Weddle? Where's the new Jake Weddle? Okay. So Chud, being a total fucking coward, refused to react to the video on stream. He swept. Chud swept. Chud swept. Chud ran. Chud swept. Chud ran and he swept because TommyC called him out for texting little boys. So Chud ran because he's scared. He doesn't want to tell his audience he was texting little boys. So he ran, but he did respond to the video. He did respond to the video in a little rant here, okay? Gay little boys, I heard. Gay little boys, he was texting. Not good. Not good at all. But yeah, let's take a look, okay?
See? I mean, what'd you say? What'd you say, dude? What'd you say? You guys are desperate for me.
Okay, wait,
I was muted for a second there. Yo, 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 yo! Where am I gonna be? Where am I gonna be? Ooh! Where am I gonna be, guys?
This guy thinks he's entertaining his kids up in the stream, doesn't he?
No! I'm here. I'm here, guys. I'm here. I did say that I'd do a stream yesterday.
But you lied.
From an attic. But basically, by the time it got to, like, my kids were asleep, it just wasn't worth streaming. It was like 10 PM. So I just went to bed instead. So sorry about that. Apologies. I know you get very disappointed if you say that I'm going to stream and then I don't stream. But yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, guys! I've just started. I'm literally 1 minute into my.
I was told that Chud misrepresented my stream about him here. I said that I was covering the allegations against him. I was only talking about him being groomed by trans people. Actually, I probably have a few Chud viewers here who don't usually watch my stream. So, I actually do need a quick cigarette. What we're going to do quickly. Chud has been spreading a lot of misinformation recently. I'm not going to lie. Chud has been pretty dishonest on his live stream. So just while I smoke, I think for the Chud people that are here, I think we need to just correct him. Because he has been lying about Purple Parry Gaming pretty regularly. So let's just, for those who weren't here yesterday, let's just watch this for just a moment as I, between things in this segment. Okay. Wait, he watches this? Fuck. No way. Actually? Dude, oh, he does. Oh, fuck. We won't waste it now, then. Okay, fuck. I didn't realize he watched it. I thought there was... I sent it to him, but I thought, no way he plays it. I thought there was 0 chance he would play it. Dude.
Stream.
Okay,
well, I'm going to be off camera for a moment anyway, okay?
Off depressed people.
Calm down.
Grapes emoji, geriatric commentator TommyC.
Literally can't even finish explaining. Can't even finish explaining and apologizing for not streaming yesterday. And you guys are desperate for me to rape a geriatric veteran with CTE. No, come on, it's banter. It's banter, come on.
It's all banter. It's all banter.
Come on, guys, it's all banter. It's all banter, okay? It's all banter from me. It's all banter. No, listen, okay? I know that people are expecting me to do some sort of, like, crazed rape, joining Kuihman's fucking rape krieg against TommyC.
We never even had a rape krieg on TommyC. There was never any rape or ape krieg or any kind of krieg on TommyC. There was never any form of krieg on TommyC. At no point have I said rape krieg on TommyC, ape krieg on TommyC. I've never said anything like that. I said we are psyoping TommyC. We are psyoping TommyC, and people are talking about him behind his back. That's what I said. Yeah, he was never worth a krieg. There is no krieg that needs to be waged to take care of TommyC. Okay?
I mean, what'd you say? What'd you say, dude? What'd you say? One of the great veterans of commentary, TommyC, tragically no longer trusts me. That is obviously very disappointing to see. That is very disappointing to see. I can't be trusted, apparently. Yeah, I mean, dude, what do I say? What do I say about this? What is there to say?
What to say?
Well, I'm laughing because it's so fucking stupid, bro. It's also fucking retarded, dude. It's just absurd. It's totally absurd. Bro, I made a few comments on stream about some of my issues. I mean, look, the comments that I made on stream were were like a third Finny Rage, okay? They were like a third Finny Rage. They were a third, like, serious issues. And they were like a third banter. Okay? And yeah, I do have some issues. I do have some problems. I'm not going to go over all my comments again. Obviously, I've already said them. If anyone's got a problem with my take on something that if I've spoken about an individual and they've got like an issue with something that I've said about them, then I'm willing to talk about it. And I can do that on stream, off stream, record the call if you think I'm a snake and I'm going to snake you in some way.
So again, this is like, yeah, Chud is being totally reasonable, I think. You should talk about it on stream. You should talk, like, again, he says multiple times here, I prefer on stream. Yes, do it on stream. It is Tommy and anyone who thinks like Tommy who are the fucking snakes. They are the ones being dishonest fucking losers who want to slither around in the background, get in people's ears, get in fucking private calls, get on the same page, and then go out with the narrative. That's snake shit. That is snake shit. And it's not just snake shit to other content creators that you associate with who aren't necessarily involved in your gay fucking group calls or whatever. It is snake shit to your fucking audiences. If you have disagreements, hash them out publicly. Let people see where the disagreement is, where the thought process is.
But how do I make money off
You know,
the
I'm like an open
Wow.
door.
Chud stole Tommy's BBW girlfriend Nicky DeOrio. Now we know what the C stands for.
Thank you for the super chats. I'm like an open door. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. I'm literally like a DM away. You know, just fucking drop me a message if you got like some problem with what I said. The crazy thing about this new Tommy rant is that like, I didn't even fucking mention the guy. And he's like raging at me saying I'm not trustworthy or some shit. You know, brings up my allegation. Says like, dude, what the fuck was that as well? He like brought up my allegation, framed it in an insane way,
Okay, that's
and then said
wonderful.
people
But
look
how
the
do
other
I
way
make
about
money
it, which
off
isn't
the
what happened at
people?
all.
Enjoyed the tomato soup segment from last stream.
You know, he's talking about this, my stupid allegation from coming up on 5 years ago now, acting like people look the other way on it. That isn't what happened at all. When Noah Samson tried to propose that I was a pedophile because of what happened, Augie, Nick, and others.
Tayman became a member.
Thank
Tayman
you.
celebrates 2 months of membership. Tommy went full Elon Musk on you.
Thank you very much for the membership. You know, they were defending me because I was getting called a pedophile, and they thought it was unreasonable on the basis of the evidence that Noah Samson was presenting. And that was before I was even really speaking to them. That was before I even really knew them that well. They did it just off their own back. There was no, like, you know, pressure or anything as far as I know to do it. I certainly wasn't applying any pressure to anyone to defend me over it. You know, if people want to criticize me for it, that's up to them at the end of the day. But there was never any pressure from me to do anything about it, you know? And so it's just bizarre that he's now like, you know, acting like there is some substance to it. Do you know what I mean? He's acting like there's some sort of substance to it and that people look the other way on it, which was never my impression from how people spoke about it. My impression was that people looked at it and thought it was bogus and said as much, and that's truly what they believed. You know, certainly don't say that you think something's okay if you genuinely don't. Like, speak your mind about it if you think I'm some sort of fucking nonce.
It's just so crazy to admit that you swept for someone that you think did something wrong like that. It's just like, Tommy just admits that he sweeps for, basically, in his mind, groomers. I mean, he didn't say groomer, but like, I don't know what, if you think something really bad happened there, what do you think it was, Tommy? Like, what level are you willing to sweep for?
Say that I'm a nonce and we know where we stand. I've never asked anyone to fucking defend me over what happened 5 years ago now. You know, but people of their own accord have defended me because they thought what I was getting called for what happened was obviously like some sort of, you know, insane overstatement of the situation. I'm trying to be calm. I'm trying to be calm, by the way. I'm not trying to fucking stoke more flames on the fire and start more stupid fucking drama. But it is obviously frustrating for someone to bring, you know, try and relitigate this fucking 5-year-old drama. Funnily enough, I think Aiko was streaming about it yesterday as well. And if people want to talk about it, that's fine. Talk about it.
Okay, this Femboy Farm Born and Bred person, you come out with some of the dumbest comments sometimes. It's not like TommyC is alone. Yes, people do this, and it's bad, and you should call it out when it's happening and be willing to face criticism on it. So you're just like saying nothing. It's just like a vapid comment.
Have you say about it. Call me a nonce, whatever you want to do, right? But I'm not looking to fucking endlessly relitigate something that happened 5 years ago. The Gok jokes are enough. The Gok jokes are enough, okay? The Gok jokes are enough for me to deal with. That I don't have to endlessly fucking talk.
Yeah, also Chud's got the wrong end of the stick. He thinks Aiko was relitigating his allegations and not simply interrogating his claim that he was groomed by trans people into being attracted to them.
Well, you know, some obviously embarrassing shit that I did 5 years ago that I unreasonably got called a pedophile and a groomer for. So that was probably the most, you know, frustrating part of his video. It's like, why are you talking about it like you were looking the other way?
Yeah, Chud did basically say that. We went over this the other day. He had a whole thing. Aiko was pressing him from chat. about why he was attracted to trans people.
Problem with it or something. I don't know. It was bizarre. It was totally bizarre.
It was very funny.
You know? Like,
do
you have a problem with it? Don't you have a problem with it? You know, are you saying that because I got offended on one thing, I've got to like what? Be gracious at all times and you know defend thing? I don't know what he's asking me to do off the back of that. You know. And the other thing as well, I've been very fucking gracious. I've been exceptionally fucking gracious in dealing with a lot of this shit. Okay. How does any of this make me a fucking snake? That's the other thing that I don't understand. How am I a fucking snake? What have I done that's fucking snaky? I'm finding out for the first time that apparently people don't want to come on my stream anymore, right? For the first time I'm hearing this.
Yo, thank you for the $20. Huge appreciate. Who was that? $20 from Kuihman. Okay. Thanks, Kuihman. Awesome.
And apparently that makes me a snake. What? Is there some sort of group chat? Some sort of Mean Girls group chat that you guys have got where you talk about not wanting to come on my stream anymore because I'm a snake. And that makes me the snake, apparently. And that makes me the snake. Is you not wanting to come on my stream, and apparently, well, Tommy is saying this. I don't know how fucking.
Oh, Scally's saying that was him, but he put the. He was obviously doing a joke donation before using my name, but it kept the name.
Who are these people? He's naming these people. Is this true? I don't fucking know. I thought it's the first I've heard of it. It's the first I've fucking heard of it, dude. I've not heard that people don't want to come on my stream because they think I'm some sort of snake. But think about how utterly bizarre that is as well, right? Think about how fucking absurd that is too. People don't want to have a publicly broadcasted conversation with me because I'm a snake. Okay, well, it's happening publicly. It's happening publicly. So where's the snake shit? You know, I have been very gracious, and I've said to people,
wonderful.
Thank you for the super chat.
Off depressed people.
Thank you, guys. Keep it coming. Come on, keep it coming. I want some money. Come on, let's fucking go. If we're gonna snake these fuckers, I might as well get paid for it. Also, dude, I'm not snaking anyone.
Why does he look so much like an ape here? It's because as he is successfully manipulated, he is taking on the appearance of a silverback. By the time he's ready to take out DeOrio, Turkey Tom, Woolly Mac, and Tommy, he is going to be full silverback. He's going to tear them limb from limb.
Interest in snaking anyone. I've been very gracious about a number of different things throughout my time doing this. And I'll always try and, you know, pursue a conversation, even privately, if someone's got an issue and a disagreement. I'm happy to, you know, have a conversation, talk about it, even if it doesn't happen publicly. You can record it, release it, whatever. If you're that worried about me being a snake, you know, I'm quite an open book. I'm not someone who's going to, like, go around discreetly and talk in like different group chats and talk all this shit about people and go to this person that hates that person and be like, oh, this person's a fucking loser, blah, 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 blah. There's nothing of that. There's nothing of that. There's literally nothing of that. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know where this fucking narrative is coming from, that I'm some sort of snake. What am I doing that's snake-like, bro? What have I done? I made some public comments, talking some shit, right?
Okay, that's wonderful.
And apparently that makes me a snake. Where's the evidence of me being a snake? Where am I being a snake exactly? Is it reaching out privately to people that have got a disagreement that don't seem to want to talk publicly and saying, hey, do you want to talk about this? We can even talk privately. Is that being a snake? I don't understand how that's being a snake. You know, if anything, the only thing that I'm doing is snaking my community out of content if that ends up happening. I don't understand. I do not get this idea that I'm suddenly this untrustworthy individual because I've made some comments, talking some shit, admittedly, yes, right? Comments which I'd be more than happy, if wanted to, I could have on stream. We could talk about whatever you want, any disagreement you've got, have on stream. And that applies to Tommy too, by the way, right? He's there banging on about I've not spoken to him for 6 months. I mean, that's a fucking two-way street, bro. If you've got a problem,
I wouldn't trust Chud around my trans daughter.
Me,
okay, dude.
Right? Why not just drop me a fucking line? Why not just drop me a message and say, hey, I've got a disagreement or an issue with something that you're saying, and we can talk about it. And if you want to speak privately, you don't want to do it in front of an audience, but you're worried about me being a snake, then record it. But I was record. You know, I won't even fucking record it if you don't want. You can fucking record it. Record it and then fucking release it if you want. I don't care. I've got nothing to hide. I've got literally nothing to hide. And if you want to have like a fucking disagreement about something, we can have a disagreement. I don't fucking understand where this, like, you know, you can say a lot of things about me, right?
Whoops. Just click my my tweet. Whoops.
Untrustworthy? Like, where am I being untrustworthy, bro? I stream 8 hours a day. Everything I say on stream is recorded. Well, not at the moment, because I'm kind of part-time this week. Everything I say is recorded, okay? Obviously, I do speak to people behind the scenes, right? And that'll either be, you know, maybe speak, you know, I will say to people, hey, if you've got a disagreement, we can talk about it privately if you want. You know, it doesn't have to be a public spectacle. You know, I'm not looking to snake anyone. I'm not looking to fuck anyone over. I'm happy to converse and talk and have a conversation. So I don't understand where this, like, snake allegation is coming from.
Well, you don't understand. Like, it's actually snaking to disagree with someone you're friends with's position on drama to the point where you think it needs to be called out. That's snaking, guys. When you're two public-facing content creators and you have a public disagreement, that's snaking.
It just feels like a cop-out of, like, not wanting to talk to me for some reason. I don't know why exactly. And acting like it's because I'm a snake.
Okay, that's wonderful.
But
how do I make money?
Show me where I've been a
off
snake.
Depressed people.
Thank you for the super chats. I mean, is it not a bit like, you know, what are you going to do about this ChudLogic? We'll get to the Kuihman stuff as well. We'll get to the Kuihman stuff too. But yeah, you know, and I do think about these things because I do, and the reason it's kind of frustrating that I'm getting called a snake is because I do think about this stuff, right? And obviously, I speak to like a multitude of people. And at times, I may end up speaking to people that I'm friends with or friendly with, okay? And I try
Kuihman stuff, me being evil, me being very evil.
Be quite diligent and not like talking
ruining
shit.
Tommy's life.
Because the last thing I want is to like talk shit behind someone's back and then that get fucking publicized and I look like a snake. But it just seems like now the snakiness is just like, oh, well, he's a snake. He's a snake because he might betray Nicholas at some point in the future because he talks some shit on stream. I mean, he might watch a video that's critical of Nicholas and say it's good. I mean, bro, it's ridiculous, bro.
Interpersonal dynamics of being a drama streamer seems so gay. I don't deal with any of it. I don't deal with any interpersonal dynamics of being a drama streamer, to be honest. I literally just don't think about it. I just say my shit and then if people cry, people cry. But I don't get people cry because people know that there's no point crying to me, you know? So it's like mine. The only what like serious like long-standing like content creation relationships do I have? Kinda Nick, though I don't know what the status of that is. Who knows? Chud, J Stook, Aiden, Mrao, and Parry, I guess. I mean, I don't know how much you can really count, like, Mrao, Aiden, Parry when they've sort of started quite recently and, like, have sort of come up in the same part of the community. I don't know how much you can really, like, obviously we're gonna land on the same side of a lot of things. Sunday. Yeah, I guess Sunday. Sunday, I've always said what I think about Sunday. I have said, I think Sunday is a psycho. I thought Sunday would go through Pixie to get Destiny. He would absolutely, I said, if Destiny's standing there with a gun to Pixie's head, you know, held there, hostage situation, Sunday has a gun. Sunday would 100%, I've said this many times, I've said, you know, and we're fine. We're fine. I say what I think of Sunday, and there's no problem with our relationship, you know? Hassan, I've said, was a terrorist sympathizer, and we're still very close. We're still very, very close, obviously. So, I just, yeah, the idea that you have to, like, in my world, in my ideal world, and in my, you know, the world that I live in, to be honest, I don't deal with interpersonal dynamics of drama content creation. I just don't deal with it. I just ignore it and just do the drama content creation, which I wish other people would do. I wish other people would do a bit more of that, to be honest.
It's ridiculous. And, you know, it's like, can we just be, like, real about something as well, right? There is now a tendency to not want to, like, have conversations on stream about stuff. I somewhat understand it, right? And I've been gracious with people that don't want to have a conversation on my stream, because I think, well, yeah, my community can be really fucking irritating.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
and like
money
aggressive.
off depressed
And I get
people?
that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. So, you know, I'm not saying, like, you know, doing the debate bro thing of, like, you've got to talk to me on stream, that you must talk to me. Right?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
It makes things a lot easier when everything is public. The private stuff is when things like this spiral. Totally agree. If you just get on the stream, hash out what you disagree about, none of this happens. Nick, there's like no need for what seems to be happening, which is Nick going around being like, oh, Chud's such a snake. Chud's been so mean to me. To Tommy and shit like that. For all being private, trying to smooth it over. For no reason. If you disagree with each other's coverage, just fucking talk about it.
Money.
Thank you for the super chats, guys.
And then you either get down to the bottom and you can't agree, or one of you's convinced, and then you go, okay, well, we've hashed this out. Catch you later. And that's it. And you can stay friends, and there can be no problem, because you don't have to be, you have to agree with your friends 100% of the way on everything.
But it's like, I spoke to Tectone a couple of weeks ago, right? And that was kind of like a mid-conversation, because he was like being extremely friendly and kind of showed his belly. But if like I can have a conversation with Tectone about some stupid disagreement, surely we can have a chat on stream about some other disagreement. Not that we have to, by the way. No one has to come on my stream. I'm not saying that anyone's got to come on my stream. What I'm more talking about as well is it's not just like, I mean, if you don't want to have a convo, that's fine. I get that. I do somewhat get not wanting to just, apropos of nothing, come on a stream and hash out some disagreement that you've got for whatever reason, right? But we've now got this, like, bizarre avoidance of having a conversation to the point where, like, I didn't really follow it that closely because I'm a bit checked out of the camera and stuff, but I did see that it was like Papa Gut was reacting.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Because people will always betray America.
I've not betrayed anyone, but thank you for the $5. It was like Papa Gut was reacting to Kuihman, whilst Kuihman was reacting to Papa Gut, whilst Papa Gut was watching something else. And at that point, are you just not going to talk to the guy? Are you just not going to have a convo with Kuihman?
Real.
Like, what is this bizarre reactception shit?
Spends 3 hours trying to do anything other than address the points I'm making on his live stream in a reaction video, instead of just, you know, getting on a Discord call.
When there's an offer on the table to talk. It doesn't make any sense to me. Just have a conversation, bro. And again, Kuihman is very irritating and Jewish. I totally understand if you don't want to like have a convo with Kuihman, say, just apropos of nothing. Kuihman says some fucking deranged shit about you on stream. You don't want to fucking talk to him. But it's the fact that you're reacting to his content. Like you're talking about, you're watching him react to you, but having a conversation is too much.
Well, he's using Jewish as a stand-in for Tricky, I think. He's being anti-Semitic in a way here. I believe he's saying I'm very annoying and tricky. That I'm good at getting one over on people. I think that's what he's trying to express here. But he's a raging anti-Semite. So he refers to that as being Jewish.
That's wonderful. But how do I make
it just doesn't make any sense to me.
People?
You know?
Gut makes my skin crawl. Bad or sick guy.
Thank you for the super chat. It's like, you know, when Essence of Thought was in chat the other day, right? I would have happily brought Essence of Thought on to talk about the stuff, right? In fucking Innuendo Studios. There was an opportunity.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chat, It's not that deep. Chud was tired of his skinny girlfriend Kuihman and wanted that big booty in DeOrio.
Ugh.
TommyC feels cucked and Angie.
Thank you for the super chats.
Strange psychosexual shit happening in
somehow
Chuds
Innuendo
chat.
Studios got wind of my coverage and he
Not
wanted
good
to
at
talk.
all.
That's like content, bro. That's like fucking yes. Let's fucking have at it about your fucking avoid the tax retardation. You know, like that's a good opportunity. It's just generally speaking, and it, obviously with Tectone it did turn out differently, but generally, when you're like talking about someone, it tends to be like a bigger creator that you don't really have any chance to talk to anyway, because they're the ones that tend to get involved in the more interesting drama, you know? So it's like, Innuendo Studios for me would be a great opportunity to have a conversation with on stream, right? But like, Papagat is reacting to Kuihman. He's not just ignoring him. He's reacting to he's reacting to him, and he just doesn't want to have a conversation. It's like, it's just bizarre. And whilst it isn't quite the same thing with the TommyC thing, and I know a lot of shitters wanted me to react to the video because then they've got content for their stream.
Pussy.
TommyC.
This avoidance crap is infuriating. People have this idea of this man Kuihman and often don't know you beyond silly clips. You're not unreasonable if the person doesn't play debate games.
I like to think that, Topher. Thank you for the $10. Thank you.
Is talking about things that I've said on stream. And it's fine. I don't mind him talking and saying his piece about it. Whatever. Say what you want to say. But then he's like, oh, you can respond how you want on stream. It's like, well, why not have a convo? Like, why not, clearly you've got some fucking issues with me. Why not just hash it out in a convo? On stream. Or even off stream, which I'd rather do it on stream. We could do it off stream. And you can record it if you want, if you think I'm going to snake you in some way. What is this aversion to ever having a conversation, when it's like you're engaging with the person in some way that you've got a disagreement with, I just don't understand it. It's just this weird, is it like people don't want to look bad? You're worried that like you might make some bad arguments or something? I don't know, dude. Like, what does it matter at the end of the day? It's a fucking online debate. I've had online debates that I've done badly at, and it's forgotten in a week and no one fucking cares. Everyone moves on and that's that, But yeah, it's
the thing is that as much as they mocked Tipster for the agree to disagree shit, that's what they want. That's what they want people to do. I don't do, let's say, oh, we just agree to disagree. I go, okay, no, if we disagree, we need to get down to where we disagree, and we're going to figure out which one of us is right. But they prefer people who agree to disagree, especially when they're losing. Because if they don't want to be pushed to the point where they might have to actually reconsider a position.
Like, just this bizarre, aversion to having a combo. Which, again, just to be clear, you don't have to have a conversation with any shitter that comes along and talks about you, right? That's especially if you're like a larger creator, that becomes very difficult to facilitate. But if you're watching someone react to you and talking like about them, why not talk to them then? Clearly you want to engage with the arguments they're making because you're watching them react to you.
Yeah, it's just totally embarrassing to cover content but not be willing to talk to the person. Very embarrassing.
You don't want to talk to them for some reason. Is it fear? You don't want to look bad? Is it like optics?
Like, unless there's some crazy shit happening, like doxing or some shit like that, there's like some actual fucking good reason for you to not be engaging. If you're covering the content, you should be willing to, and talking shit about the person or replying to the points, you should be willing to argue about it. The idea that you're not is total bitch shit.
I don't know. Very, very odd. Very odd behavior, But yeah, I mean,
Dude, Chud versus Infrared is classic when he just does the British accent for like half the fucking conversation. Oh my god, that was classic, dude.
Very, very odd. Very odd behavior, But yeah, I mean, offers open to TommyC if he's got like these big issues with me and he wants to hash it out. I'm happy to talk to him in whatever format he's most comfortable with, But it seems like, really, although there were some comments about things I'd said recently, it seems like he's just furious about Kuihman, right? Like the amount of times that Kuihman got mentioned in a segment that was ostensibly about me is absurd. Even going as far back.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Ethan and Hassan has been a vicious curse upon this space. Principles have been tossed out and spines are now missing.
Thank
Speak
you.
your truth, King.
Thank you for the super chats. He was complaining about that time that he was on stream and Kuihman came on, right? And apparently I like apologized after or something like that, right? Do you know how long ago that was? I had to go back and check because I was like, what? How is he like still talking about that, right? It was like, it was uploaded to my channel like 27th of June, 2024. It was like a year ago. And he's still fucking, bro, he's still talking about that. He's still talking about the year ago when Kuihman came on and, you know, they're the fucking debate. I can't even fucking remember what it was about. I just remember Tommy calling Kuihman a bread tuber. And, yeah, you know, I understand. Like, you know, I get TommyC hating Kuihman, right? Kuihman went fucking ballistic over TommyC and was doing endless streams about him, calling him like a fucking
I think that's an
senile
unfair
water-brain
characterization.
retard, you know. And off the back of some of it, because there was a little bit of drama that got stirred up over it, I think I watched a bit of a TommyC stream, and he was making some sort of embarrassing revelations about something to do with his wife or something like that, right? And then towards the end of it, I was just a bit like, okay, you know, like people wanted me to watch more. And I was just like, I'm not really that into this, you know? I don't think I was like particularly harsh on Tommy, if I recall correctly. And I'm pretty sure that at the time I said that some of it was a bit excessive, you know? But it feels like Tommy wanted me to like intervene in some way.
It was like, yep,
you know,
I was farming Tommy. Well, I would, like, you would farm any content creator you come across who is doing the things Tommy is doing. If you're posting about how broke you are, about how you fucked up your house purchase and got a house without internet, and you might have to quit your show and all this, so you're embarrassing yourself and you need to be farmed. Sorry. That's just how it works. That's how it works.
as if Kuihman is some sort of bastard extension of my body, my fleshy mass. Kuihman's little face is in my chest. That, oh, I'm Jewish and I hate Jewish people. Oh, I'm a self-hating Jew.
What is this?
It's like, bro,
what's this guy doing?
He's not me. Like, I'm not Kuihman. If you can't fucking tell, we look quite different. Different body mass. Okay, let's leave it at that. I'm not Kuihman. I don't necessarily agree with everything that fucking Kuihman says. And unless Kuihman is like doxing someone or doing something.
What was it Deeper Armor said in JSOC's chat last night? He said, Kuihman and Aiden are so insufferable because they're not actually self-hating Jews. They're so arrogant about being Jewish that it loops back around to self-hating.
That is like completely and utterly objectionable. What am I supposed to fucking do? Like, Kuihman's his own fucking man doing his own content. He's got his own dramas going on. You know, he's got his own shit happening now. Like, that's up to him. I'm not literally, like, yes, I know the father meme is there. I'm not literally Kuihman's father. You know, I'm not responsible for what he fucking does. Like, Kuihman could do what Kuihman wants to do. Judge me by my opinions and what I say about things, you know, rather than, oh, Kuihman this and Kuihman that, you know? It's so stupid. Yeah, bro, what is it? The fucking, Total Recall. Quaid. Tommy. It is, dude, it comes across like, what are you going to do about this, ChudLogic? And the thing is, look, I get it, right? I listen to Kuihman. I tend to alert now because I don't want to be seen in chat because people are really annoying about it. But, you know, Kuihman can be very abrasive and obnoxious, you know. I don't necessarily agree with everything Kuihman says.
See, you guys are too gay and annoying in chat whenever Chud dropped by. Now we don't chat no more.
Obviously. We've obviously got different takes on different things. But like, isn't it valuable to have someone that's got like a different perspective from like the other people that are in the space? I don't know, dude. I think it's kind of nice to have someone that has got a different perspective on it that tends to be, even if you disagree with it, fairly well reasoned and fairly well thought out, you know? Like, I think it's pretty decent to have someone there that's going to give a different take or a different perspective, you know? Chud, it's just that you praise him and raid him, so people automatically associate with him with you. That's fine. Well, then say, okay, if that's your, okay, well then say that's your problem. I don't like the fact that Chud supports Kuihman because I don't like him. There's your problem then. But that's not what the problem is stated is. It's that I've, you know, this allusion to this idea that I'm somehow responsible for what Kuihman is doing. And with that in mind as well, right? I said that some of that fucking gay op shit that was happening.
It wasn't a gay op. There was no gay op. It was a psyop. There was no gay op. That's kind of different. It's kind of two different things. There was no deception happening. No one was in Tommy's Discord pulling the strings. I just kept saying, we're psyoping Tommy. We're psyoping Tommy. Everyone's talking about Tommy behind the scenes. And it just worked. It just materialized.
Much. I said the gay op stuff was too much. I said, oh, this is stupid. I don't think I was like, you know, I made a couple of memes about it. Okay, sure. Yeah. But I wasn't like supporting it. And I, you know, saw that there was all this shit being talked about TommyC and I just didn't really pay much attention to it. Well, what am I supposed to do? Intervene? I don't understand. Like, what is it you want me to do if someone that is tangentially related to me and is from my community is making content shitting on you? Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to intervene? Am I supposed to step in and be like, Kuihman, it's your father speaking. Kuihman, get to your room now. You've been talking shit about people I like again. Come on. It's so stupid, bro. It's so stupid. And you know, it seems like, from my perspective, and obviously I've seen people in chat pointing this out, it seems like his biggest issues with me are that I talk some shit about Nicholas in the course of my rant the other day, because TommyC is constantly throwing himself in front of Nicholas whenever someone fucking criticizes him. And my criticism wasn't even that fucking crazy, I don't think. And some issues with Kuihman that is being put on my doorstep as if it's my fucking problem to deal with, you know? I went back and looked at our messages back from December, and I don't want to get into the business of leaking messages, you know, because funnily enough, I'm not actually a fucking snake, okay? So I'm not looking to leak fucking anything, right? I'm not interested in doing that. But he's talking about like this slasher thing. Do you know what the last message I sent to TommyC was? Back in December of last year, right? This is like literally, I'm pretty sure literally the last thing I said to him was, okay, oh, I looked at the slasher stuff and it was overblown. People? You know, I talked about it on stream. Let me know if you got any issues with what I said. That was what I said to him. He's bringing up this fucking slasher thing. When the last thing I said to him, well, the last thing I said to him was, I think it was overblown. You know, so
this
I don't
charged logic guy is very weird. Very weird guy. Strange, creepy guy. Okay.
It's just, you know, I don't know. It's just feels like, you know, I've made some criticism he doesn't like.
Wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
King Rainbow became a member.
Thank
King
you.
Rainbow celebrates 21 months of membership. Bugman battle.
It feels like I've, you know, made some criticisms that he doesn't like, and you know, he's annoyed about how some of the shitters have fucked about with him that are tangentially or more directly related to me, and he wanted to just have this kind of like, you know, all these comments about it.
Does he really keep going?
Well, like I say, you know, that's my.
Is this really all until he watches the parry thing? Is it all TommyC?
I guess response to what he was talking about. And if he wants to talk further, you know, I'm not getting into this.
Damn.
Like, you know, react to me, then I'll.
This guy delivered on the content today. Thank God.
About it, you know, and I can explain all of my points much more clearly, much more calmly than when I'm fucking having Finny Rage on stream. And we can see what we think, you know? I mean, that's how it used to be done. And the other thing as well, okay, it's not that Papagut doesn't want to talk to Kuihman. He doesn't want to be pushed on his opinions. It's way easier to talk over a video than a personal conversation. But the thing is like, you know, I know that there's some people out there that are like very deranged and will just like go fucking schizo at you, and it's just not really worth getting into it with them. But I just generally wouldn't talk about their content then, and then it's not a problem, you know? I think if you're going to talk about someone's content, I think you need to be ready to have a conversation if they then want to have a conversation. I think that's a pretty reasonable standard to have. Like, you don't have to like speak to any shitter that comes up that is knocking on your door and going like, "Oh, I made a stream talking shit about you to 3 viewers. Talk to me now." That's silly, and obviously it's not sustainable to do that, especially if you're like a bigger content creator. But if you're like talking about someone's takes and stuff like that, like, why not just have a convo? It's absurd.
He does the parry stuff. He does, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Me techie. I tell you what, me techie, Nick and TommyC need to squad up in Fortnite and get this all squared away. That's what we need to do. I'm not watching the video. I've already said I'm not watching the video. You can go and watch it. Don't brigade. Don't leave any stupid comments. If you want to go and see all of his takes, exactly, go and watch it. Let me know if you think I've mischaracterized anything. But I think I've pretty fairly laid out, you know, the rough strokes of what he was saying. And I've tried to express my issues in a calm fashion, in a slightly heated moments at time. But, you know, the thing is as well, guys, right? I'm not looking to, like, burn bridges or have, like, a crash-out drama with someone over the Ethan Assange shit. A drama that I'm largely checked out of and not interested in talking about because I've talked about it for so fucking long. Why do I want to fucking snake someone over that? Oh, I don't think you're criticizing Ethan enough, so I'm gonna snake you. I don't fucking care that much about it, dude. I just got, you know, I expressed some of my concerns in a frustrated fashion on stream. That was enough for me to get it out there, and then I've moved on. I'm not looking to get back into fucking litigating all of my. Oh well, I think you said da. I don't really care about it that much. So I'm definitely not looking to burn any bridges. And me making like some comments towards Big Nick and fucking Augie and Connor, right? Like, that to me isn't enough to like nuke a bridge that we've got. Like, if there really is some underlying issues, happy to have a convo in whatever you know, ways suits them or whatever. If they want to, it's in their court. I'm not saying anyone needs to talk to me. But that shouldn't be enough to like end a relationship or something, right? When it's just, you know, largely, it's like a quarter shit talking, quarter Finny Rage, and a third shit talking, a third Finny Rage, and a third serious, right? Why would that be enough to end it? You know, I'm sure that Nicholas was a bit annoyed that I talked some shit about him, right? I'm sure he's a bit annoyed about that. Fine, totally fine if he wants to be annoyed about it, right? But I don't think we've got like, you know. It's like Tommy's more upset than Nick is about what's happened. Do you know what I mean? It's bizarre. It's like, you know, as far as I understand, I don't think there's this big crash-out bridge explosion between me and Nicholas. And do you know what else it feels like as well? It feels a little bit like I'm almost like, feel like I'm getting pulled into having some fucking shitter commentary Civil War drama that I'm not even that involved in. Like,
it's not even me doing it this time. It's literally, it's not even me doing it. I'm not dragging this retard into shit. For some reason, Tommy just puts out this whole video being like, no one fucks with you, ChudLogic, and no one fucks with you either, Kuihman. Okay.
In the fight, I'm just like doing my own thing over here, you know? Yes, I made some comments on stream. Yes, I talk some shit, sure. But is that really enough? I mean, you know, we're all fucking lads here, aren't we? We're all bloody lads. Have a bit of banter, a bit of disagreement, a bit of fucking friendly disagreement and stuff like that. I don't know, it's weird. It's odd. Like, why is it such a
Okay, that's
fucking deal
wonderful.
breaker?
But
Why
how
does it
do
make
I
me a
make
snake?
money
Why does it make me a
off
snake,
depressed
dude?
people?
Why does it make me a snake? Thank you for the Prime sub. True, that's what. Oh, fuck off, Smaggle. Look at this autistic freak to defend his fucking E-Daddy. You can get fucked as well, mate. Fuck you too. True. That's why when you read a donation, you just say, I don't want to talk about it. Thanks for the money, though, Lamau. Yeah, sure. It took me. The moment took me, okay? And I decided to talk some shit. Are we really saying that me having a bit of a fucking spurgy crash out on stream, talking some shit about other people is enough to fucking end relationships? I mean, what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here, dude? What the fuck, bro? What is going on? Okay, seriously, to anyone that you know, to Kuihman, J-Stalk, all the fucking shitters that are going to fund the next stream off the back of this little rant, okay? To you people in chat, to anyone that doesn't like me, okay? I can't remember what I was going to say now.
He's owned.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
Nice one, you fucking idiot. Nice one, you fucking idiot. To all those shitters like Kuihman and J-Stalk, and all everyone else who doesn't like me. I forgot what I was going to say. You fucking mug.
I thought too much about all the people that are going to be watching this later. But yeah, I don't know, dude. It's like, you know, like, is there like is there some sort of fortress arc happening or something? I don't know, dude. You know, I get if people want to keep to themselves, even if I've got disagreements with the way that they're doing stuff. If they want to just do their stream and what, fine. I don't, you know, I'm not looking to fucking break into your fortress and come and rape you in the middle of the night. But if you've got like a disagreement that you're talking about
but how do I make
against someone else publicly for a long time, why not just have a convo?
In the top right got corner.
You know? And Shamu, I've seen Shamu talk a bit about this too, and it's like, it's all over like Ethan Klein, and it's stupid. It's just stupid. You know? It's not that serious. Like, I'm not looking to fucking start nuking relationships because of the Ethan Klein Assange drama. I've got my issues, and I've, you know, somewhat stated what my concerns were the other day, and that's enough for me. I'm not looking to fucking get into some massive beef about, oh, you're not doing this right or that right. It's just, you know, obviously some disagreements, some issues that can be hashed out if wanted, you know, and that's it. Yes, exactly, Shelby. You know, EHD. Well, Destiny is a kind of, you know, I kind of regret including Destiny because it's become part of it now. But really, it's Ethan Assange, or you know, I guess IW could include as well. But the problem is that it's all got everything gets sucked up into it. You know, every piece of drama now is somehow tangentially related to that, and it just is. It's just fucking boring to talk about all the time. For me, at least. And if other people want to talk about it, fine. You know, I would just hope that they're able to bring some nuance to the table and do it in a way that, you know, gives fair credence or credit to each side. But, you know.
Imagine if people could just do that.
At the end of the day, I'm not interested in endlessly talking about it, you know? It's like, and I get it. I get that you like it and it's fun for you and you want to see everyone talk about the fucking same thing. I get it. I understand. But it's like people are like, oh, watch the iDubbbz coach conversation. And it's like, I would happily watch some person shitting on iDubbbz if it was like some video or something, right? But the problem is, that has now been sucked up. The ecosystem is fucked at the moment. It's just been sucked up and has become another piece of this stupid, forever retard war that Ethan and Assange are engaged in and have been engaged in for fucking months and months and months now. You know? And it's just everything links back to that. And it's just fucking boring. And if people want to make a fucking shit ton of money talking about it, you know, I don't have a problem with that. Good luck to you.
Lies drama is not boring. Chud just doesn't want to admit that the side he's usually hating on is clearly the less unhinged side than the other. I don't think that's true. However, I think Chud is bored of it. I think Chud is genuinely bored of the Ethan Assange stuff. It's not that he doesn't want to admit that one side is worse or anything like that. It's that he's obviously going to have, if Chud was covering it honestly, which I think he would obviously want to, if he was covering it honestly, he would have serious contentions with the dominant narrative. And whenever you do that, whenever you, as someone who does this to get a sick thrill, whenever you do that, it can be very annoying and feel like you're wading through fucking mud, having to deal with the most retarded arguments coming from the most retarded people. And they're like virtue signaling at you and acting like you're crazy and it's fucking nightmarish and you risk burning off part of your audience. Like, yeah, Chud definitely doesn't want to deal with that. He definitely is pushed away from covering topics when he's going to have to do that, I think.
You know? I'm just personally bored of talking about it. That's why I'm not really that interested. Also, dude, Chud is fair. Like that, bro. That's a meme. Does Tommy understand that Chud is fair is like a fucking joke?
Okay, that's wonderful.
That I sometimes allude to.
Off depressed people.
Your decision to not cover HD is the best thing you've done this year. Keeping me sane.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, you know, it's I'm doing my best. Find stuff to talk about. You know, obviously, my take is to try and, you know, give reasonable assessment to any side in a drama and not just be completely one-sided and biased, right? And that's why people then say Chud is fair. But that's how you should be anyway when you're covering drama. But also, Chud is fair is a meme rooted in the tomfoolery stuff when tomfoolery was posting on Reddit about himself and was saying that, you know, Tom is fair in the third person, you know? It's not meant to be like a serious statement of you know, people say it if they feel like I'm giving a reasonable take on a drama, particularly if it's contradictory to what the like common like perception is out there or something, right? But it is alluding to a meme. You know? But yeah, I think that's it really. I think that's it. Was there anything else? Anything else that got mentioned that I've not spoken about?
Yeah, you haven't insulted him enough. He comes up with something else to say. He comes up with something else to say. Something else happens
where he's saying, "Don't cover it then like me." He's just totally unaware of anything you've done in months. Yeah, dude. Like, I don't want to do the Jordan Peterson meme of you've got to like watch all my streams in order to figure out what the criticism is of me or something. But anyone that's watched me knows that I've wrangled with my frustrations with how that it's been an overwhelming presence in the space, and I've generally moved away from covering it, even if it's top content that maybe I could benefit from, you know? So, you know, like, obviously, if I was just, I mean, you know, it's a balance, right? Obviously, I need to make money to pay my bills. But, you know, I'm fortunate that I don't necessarily have to cover that all the time, you know, in order to have a reasonable amount of viewers that I can earn an income from, which I'm very appreciative of, by the way. Thank you for that. So, you know, I don't, you know, feel the need that I have to cover it because I can talk about other things people still watch and people still support. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Musty thing. What was the Musty thing about? Yeah, he was talking about how he got a 5K donor from Musty. Or something. I mean, again, another thing, like the idea that people don't want to come on my stream because I'm a fucking snake or something. That's another thing that I'm hearing about for the first time. No idea about anything to do with it. I've got no clue about a 5K dono that Musty gave to TommyC. That is the first time I was made aware of that. I'm not familiar with it. I struggle to see how, like, what was it that I don't know what the fucking criticism was of that. I mean, I don't fucking know anything about that.
It was just, there were dots lining up. He was drawing
Musty
lines between the dots.
Was someone that supported me quite a lot. To the tune of, you know, thousands of dollars. I mean, I don't like to talk about Oilers. It's a bit fucking gauche. But, you know, Musty was like a big supporter of me for a while. And as far as I understand it, he stopped dishing out the oiling to everyone that he was oiling previously. And, you know, I try not to rely too much on like an oiler, because obviously people come and go and you've got to not be weird about that. But yeah, Musty obviously hasn't been around for a little while. I think he gave like a dono and said, you know, I'm not really doing oiling anymore, and that was that, you know. I don't really understand what the like. I don't know about this 5K dono. I don't really care about the 5K dono one way or another. You know, if you're getting support for something, good for you. I'm not like, I don't really think anything about it, you know.
Yeah, I heard
So
that
I
the
don't
Musty
understand, it just
fostered
feels
a
like
child or
this
some shit.
bizarre, like,
Yeah.
Oh, you're
hear
concerned
that.
about this. I don't even know. I don't even know about that, dude. I didn't no idea that happened. So how can I be like, you know, how can I be like annoyed about something that I don't know about? Or what was it, jealous or something? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know
know
what the
anything
issue was.
past that. I
Perceived
can't
issue with
elaborate. I
this
know
Musty
nothing
dono
past that.
I
That's
didn't know about.
all I know.
So yeah, no idea what that was about. Musty is someone that used to support me a lot and then stopped supporting me for whatever reason, personal reason, whatever. That's up to him. I don't really keep track of like, I mean, obviously you notice if someone that spends a lot of money on your channel goes, but I'm not like feeling a certain way about it. It's just the way it goes, you know?
Chud, many people are saying they saw you telling Musty in New York to lighten the envelopes. Now he's gonna bring his Irish crew to put a hit.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Genuinely glad you moved away from EHD. It was fun at first but has been looping and looping outside of the recent coach interview. Stick to stuff you enjoy. You're great to watch when you're having fun.
Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Is that, you know, if I was still just covering EHD content or whatever, I'd just kind of suck. I'd be bored. I'd be bored of talking about it. So I just would not be able to bring the same energy. You know, I think about that fucking random Titan segment that I did. And even though it's not going to get as many views and whatnot,
the fucking Ocean Gate shit.
That to me is when my content is at my best. When I'm like just having a laugh about some crazy shit like that, you know, or covering a drama I'm actually interested in or something like that. So, you know.
The real ones know the peak of Chud content was the Gypsy segments. The ones where he just watched videos of gypsies' encampments being cleared out by fucking bailiffs and shit. Real ones know that's peak Chud content. That's what made Demon Mama hate him.
I don't know. It's I get it. If you like it, that's fine. Some people are really into it, and there's plenty of places to watch it if you are. But yeah. Anyway, that's the Musty thing. Anything else? Was there anything else? I think that's it.
Or the stream where he spent the whole day celebrating the death of David Amos. That one was pretty good.
Chud is down again. Yes, unfortunately, TommyC's call out of me has had a negative impact on my subs. So it looks like some co-TommyC people are not happy with me, so they're unsubscribing.
Chud below 50k again. It's over.
Bro, I don't believe it.
It's over.
Yeah, we're down to 49989. Wow, incredible. About 30 subs, I think we've lost. Because things keep happening and people don't like me anymore. Tragic. Will I ever truly breach 50k? Dude, Tommy's whole audience is all 30 of Tommy's audience just left. Oh wait, hang on. Sorry. Okay, that was banter, by the way. That was just banter. That wasn't a serious comment. Okay, it wasn't a serious slight. That was banter. Come on, let's calm down. Let's relax. I don't get it, dude. Maybe it's just an American thing. But over here we have banter. You know?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
You've earned yourself another rant. Well, rather than have another rant, why don't we just have a conversation? Yeah? Save ourselves a lot of time. Because I am not doing some sort of queer response thing. I'm not getting into that. I'm not interested. It's like, it's becoming this. What's that meme? Oh, dude. I can't remember what the name of the people are. The thing is. When it's got like the 4 videos responding. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Where you got like the four videos and they're just doing response videos to each other. The Ransonas. Yes. What is it called? I've not covered the card posted video on Josh Moon yet. No. I do want to cover it, but I got some other stuff today that I wanted to get to.
Oh, dude, we might watch that. I actually watched that off stream. The card posting Josh Moon video. So funny, man.
We'll see. I'll probably cover it at some point.
I mean, it's like the 5th video cards made on Josh Moon. He's always talking about Josh
I
Moon.
called out Willie Max BS a year and a half ago and I was called a Hassan D. Rider. Papa Gut and his big gut did his same bad faith react that he did to Kuihman last night. I walked so Kuihman can run.
Okay,
Don't
Philly.
ever forget it.
Okay, Philly. Thank you for the $15. Huge appreciated. Yeah, I'm sure you were right about, look, I'm sure whatever you said about Willie Mack was true, okay? Now link me the clip of you calling him a pedophile, okay.
Where is it? And it's not the reaction. It's not.
Okay, that's wonderful.
It's the YouTubers responding to one another.
Every season of the ChudLogic podcast has a falling out to cap it off. First the Wigtroon, then DM, then Rhizome, then Sunday, now Tommy Senile. Next season you'll have a fallout with a creator people actually like and could name.
Thank you for 333. Dude, I don't even feel like I've fallen out with anyone. You know? I'm not falling out with anyone here, I don't think. I mean, it's true that I haven't spoken to Tommy for like 6 months at this point. So I mean, like what will change? I'll continue to not talk to Tommy. I mean, what there's nothing, you know, we don't speak anymore. To be fair, you're not even I don't think I've been that angry. I don't think I've been that angry, have I? You tell me, guys. You tell me. I think I've been pretty calm, all things considered. My Finny rage is not really, not really with it today.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chud will sit there with a shit-eating grin and felch you with his words and then saves with "It's just banter."
Well, no, I mean, obviously it is a bit of like a meme, but like, you know, there are things I say that are not meant to be like taken super seriously, right? Like, there's obviously an element of seriousness that I've got a point to make, but it's like, you know, I was like raging at Augie and Connor, and you know, obviously I thought it was funny, and I did have like, you know, a serious disagreement with like the fucking treats to trick stuff, the tricks to treat stuff, but it wasn't like that deep. It wasn't like super deep. You know, I wasn't genuinely trying to like fucking, you know. I think I even said like they want to, you know, if you want to do it on your stream, whatever. I just don't really like it, you know. But yes, guys, there we go. So rather than do gay politics today, we did a bit of commentary politics instead, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, I think people misunderstand and think that when I'm like spurging out, I'm like, I don't know, making like super serious points about everything that I'm making. And do you know what? Okay. Do you know what the great thing is, right? All of us can be very bombastic and aggressive and vitriolic on our stream, right? But do you know what you can do if you really have got an issue with what someone is saying and you want to get to the heart of what they think and have like a discussion about it? Well, I've given the game away there. You can talk about it. You can have a conversation about it, right? Discord calls, remember those? But apparently there's some, I'm guessing there's some secret group chat somewhere where they're all talking about me going, oh, I don't go on Chud stream, he's a snake. Fuck that guy.
Very embarrassing for all those
So
people. Anyone that's involved in that should be very embarrassed about it and should probably say that they are involved in it and say, yeah, that was retarded of me before any other retard in that group chat leaks something again for the second time.
It's okay. That's fine. My door is open. My door is open, and, you know, whatever format people are most comfortable in, if someone has got an issue with what I've said about them, if I've got like a substantive issue or criticism or something, you know, whatever, watch one of your videos, you don't like it, then we can talk. It's fine. Okay? It's fine. They think, I mean, dude, I wouldn't, dude. Also, can I just say as well, right? You do realise, I barely speak to Kuihman, right? Basically, mine and Kuihman's DMs are primarily one-way traffic of him sending me shit to either annoy me, irritate me, provoke me into cover so he's got content, or some context of something that I'm talking about that he knows about. And sometimes I say, oh, cheers, blah, 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 have a bit of a comment back, right?
Well, it's true. It's true. Like I can just look at our DMs right now. So last night, hey Chud, Parry's mad at me because I misportrayed the whole ChudLogic Jr. pregnancy situation. Thankfully, Bugsquad made a video clearing the whole thing up, and then the video, and then it's a video of Stardust going, "Wow, wow, JQing on main," and then it's all of Cameron's music. It's loads of Cameron stuff because I was sending context about that. Then it's Sargon, and it's Smash JT, then it's Tectone, then it's Red Bar, then it's Red Bar, then it's Red Bar. Chud, watch this, Chud, watch. Then it's Law and Crime Network, the Nathan Weddle shit. Like, it's just like, it is just. And it's that Muslim guy who got exposed the other month. Fuentes clips, Dean Withers clips. Like, there's not, I don't even DM him. Like, if I'm even going to say anything about, like, one of his friends, like Tommy or some shit, I'm going to do that in public, usually. I'm going to say in public, I'm going to be like, oh, Chud, cover this, you're sleeping. Like, why the fuck would I do some gay shit, like... Okay, there's conversation here, to be clear. Okay, retard, okay? But it's not, I don't fucking message about like Tommy or Nick or well, I'm scrolling, I literally, I don't think I ever message about, I sent the Liquid Sonic video on Tommy and that's it. That's all I can say. This is all I can say. I've never spoken about any of these fucking, you know, I'm not in there saying, oh, fuck that Nick DeOrio guy. Don't go on that Nick DeOrio guy's stream. Or, Nick DeOrio's a snake. Nick DeOrio's a piece of shit. Like, I'm not... Tommy C's a piece of shit. You need to end this Tommy C guy's career. Like, that's not what's happening. Unlike in these other group chats, apparently. Yeah, exactly. As if Chud wouldn't just tell me to get raped if I was saying some shit like that. Yeah, exactly. It's just so crazy. Who is this convincing? Why would you guys admit the private convos you'll have, of course, being like mean girls? Well, Tommy C admitted it. Tommy C admitted it.
Like, I'm not like there fucking, oh, Kuihman, yeah, we got to fucking rape, we got to rape the cabal. You do that. Like, bro, I don't fucking, I'm too busy with my fucking life to worry about all this fucking, you know, intricate internet snake shit that I'm apparently doing. But in any case, you know, I'm not just going to bring Kuihman on. Dude, I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of bringing Kuihman on. Because it comes across like he's like it's like an attack dog or something. I don't want it to be like that. When have I ever actually done that? I did it with Jar because it was funny. I guess I did do it with TommyC, but that was, you know, it wasn't like it's an attack dog. I wasn't thinking of it like that.
You can't pull this, like, you can't cry, oh, attack dog, if they're asked if they want to talk to me. I'm sorry, you can't. That's fucking bullshit. You have an option. I'm not just being set on you, you know. You're given a choice. This guy doesn't like you and is very aggressive in conversation. Do you want to talk to him or not? If you, as an adult man, cannot turn around and say, no, I don't want to talk to that guy right now, that's on you. That's fully on you.
I just thought we could have a bit of fun content of them arguing. When else? When else have I done it? The Rabid Jew. The last few times Kuihman's been on is because we've disagreed about something. But I don't think I've brought him on to like attack someone that I'm talking to. Chud is disavowing the orbit his mass has created if he wanted it to happen or not. Well, I'm not disavowing anything. I'm just saying I'm not responsible for every single take that someone that happens to have come out of my community gives, says, or does. Like, it's not on me, is it? I mean, what have I got to do? Unless someone that I have had some hand in supporting is doxing someone. That's the line. If they're doxing someone or something like that, or they're convicted of some serious pedophilic crime. I think we all know which is much more likely in Kuihman's case.
What?
I'm not going to... What am I going to say? It's not my fucking business.
Hello, this guy was literally texting little boys, and he's saying, what about me?
In a multitude of dramas that I haven't fucking gotten involved in, because I'm not interested, I don't care. You know? Like, even this Papa Gut stuff, I only mention it because it's relevant to a point that I'm making. But I'm not going to sit there and watch fucking Papa Gut react to Kuihman. I don't fucking care, bro. Whatever. Have a convo. I mean, also...
Well, so you better fucking hope not, because Chuds has said multiple times that he stakes his entire career on me never being caught for any pedophilic crimes. Okay, so he better fucking hope that's not more likely.
Like, I'm not really interested in this Cameron shit. You know, I think my take is Cameron's probably some fucking wretched liar, like, trying to obfuscate his past or something like that is my basic take. But I'm not, like, in the weeds with other people looking at all the details and this has been done and that's been done. So I'm not even that interested in it. But it's like, you know, just have a convo. Just have a fucking convo, bro. What is the problem with having a conversation if you are watching someone's content shitting on you for a take you've had or disagreeing with you? You know? Anyway, I do think that's it. I do think that's it.
Okay, do we get Kino now?
I mean...
Time for
the
Kino.
thing that really got me with the
time for
Cameron
Kino.
stuff,
Time for cinema.
And this is also partly, you know, DK did point this out too, and on reflection, I think he was right. But it's just like it's all very like intricate, and there's all the like, and I mean this with the greatest of respect. It's banter, okay? But you've got a lot of shitters that are in there that are trying to like make their name and get a piece of it, and I respect that. And if you want it, like, good luck, make your content, call it out, whatever, right? But it's just a bit too, like, you know, you've got to be in the mix of all of that, really, to really do a good segment and explain it well. And then I was like watching Dicker's conversation, and
that's why someone's got to make a
that's where this
video.
That's where this big fucking spurg out moment came from. Is I sat there bored, and I just started raging about it, you know. But I don't hate anyone. I don't hate anyone that's trying to make a name for themselves.
Someone who isn't Ralph.
I mean, I get it. Right?
Ralph's making a video, isn't he?
When I was a smaller creator, that's exactly the kind of thing that I'd be getting in on, you know? But as much as people, you know, probably find it a bit annoying that I don't necessarily cover all the shit.
Because Ralph both doing it.
It's just not of interest to the broad span of your audience, you know? There's like, you know, a few hundred people are tops that might be interested in it. So as much as people are like, oh, you're talking about this thing or whatever, it's like it has the broader interest than, you know, shitters pressing one of Cameron's alleged victims or whatever. And also, yeah, I'm just, you know, I don't know. I guess it is somewhat related to the HD stuff, but that's not really the reason. I do, bro, see, the thing is, especially after that, what I've just said there, I do feel like, and Bug Squander's, look, this is normally too shitter for me, but Bug Squander's made this.
Let's go.
So I do think I've got
Let's go.
Okay? And then we'll get, no, Kuihman sent this to me. Kuihman said that Parry's mad that Kuihman misrepresented the thing to me or something. I don't know, bro. I just heard that he did some weird thing, and I was apparently born for his. I don't fucking know what was going on. What is going on, dude? Which is Parry and which is Bug Squander?
035 at 11:37.
Dude, the music is so good there.
Oh, I see. Okay, so this is Bug's creation. What was I don't want to ask actually. I don't care what Parry's thing was. I'm not even going to be concerned with that.
Doctor, is there a doctor in this office? Is there a doctor? Is there a doctor? Is there a doctor? Is there a doctor in this hospital? Where is this? Where is it? Someone, anyone even call the doctor? Is there at least a nurse?
What? Did it do? What the fuck, dude? That's fucked up, man.
Dude, this is so good. I love this video so much.
Beast? Oh my god, dude. What is a little wretched beast? Bug killed our baby.
Todd Jr., no! My little fleshy alien beast, no!
Just the extended sequence of this baby choking to death, dude. Awesome. I've never seen a Razorhead though. I'm aware.
Sorry for your loss, thank you.
I figure
Guys,
this is probably
I'm feeling
pretty
very
similar to
sad
how it
about
plays
this
out
little
in
wretched beast of mine dying, so please
film.
give generously. I'm fundraising for his funeral. I don't. Whatever it is, funeral. So you know what to do.
You know, I'd like some time with ChudLogic Jr. guys. So, you know, if you don't mind, I'm probably gonna, you know.
What the fuck was that? What was that?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do
That
I
was
make
deranged,
money off
but
depressed
quite
people?
entertaining.
KC is cute became a member. KC is cute celebrates 3 months of membership.
Cinema.
With my purple home
Cinema.
PT.
Indeed. Thank you very much for the membership. Dude, Bug Squad has made some bangers in his time. Remember the Chinese edit?
Does he play it? No, he doesn't.
Fucking...
Who's seen the Bug TommyC video? Thought this isn't right.
My Vietnamese friend, Tom Zhu, has walked in. Hey Tom, come over here and say hello to my audience. Ming Bao, Ning Mong Hao, Hing Mon Ning Mo Hao, Chuk Po Hao, Ni Po Ching Mo Hao, Ni Po Hi Sho Hao. Okay, chill, just calm down. Listen, the accent, it sounds like he's angry, but he's not. That's just the way they speak, okay? Don't worry about it, okay? Chuk Po Hi Mo Hao, Ni Mo Hi Ho Ha. Okay, right, thank you very much. Right, I'll see you later. Right, he's gone now, okay? There we go. That was my friend. That was my my Vietnamese friend, okay?